Welcome to Bristol, Tennessee for the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split on GridVision. I'm Austin Edstrom standing alongside Nick Stein, and we've got Austin Derbyshire behind the production booth as always here as we've got some Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split action from the Bristol Motor Speedway. We've got a double dose of action for you here tonight. We were off in the A Open Series last week for week 13, but this week we are back at the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee for some short track action at the last great Coliseum.
Yeah, Bristol is always a fun track, and of course it's the day race this time, not on not on dirt, thank goodness, because you know that race was always fun. So I'm very, very glad to be back on the concrete for this one, and it's gonna be a fun one. The times are fast, speeds are fast, and these guys are ready to get going.
As you mentioned, Bristol dirt, it's dead. Unfortunately, we have, well, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on who you are, we have thrown it into the landfill and covered it up, and it's never coming back. I think it's gone for real this time. I don't think we're taking any 20-year break, and it's going to pop back up anytime soon. As we still are looking around. Still are looking around the Bristol Motor Speedway. I almost said asphalt version, but we're actually on concrete. The dirt is gone, but we're still on concrete. We're not reverting all the way back to the asphalt days. But the Bristol concrete version back for the spring race for the first time in about, what, 3-4 seasons. So looking forward to seeing how this one gets on today. 175 laps coming at you. But we're going to first come at you with Nick Stein's keys to the race.
Yeah, tonight is really all going to be about saving the tires. You know, saving that right front's going to be very much important. But if you're going to be running at the top, which is going to be overpowered tonight, you're going to have to save that right rear as excuse me. You're going to have to save that right rear as well. So save the right side tires. Basically, you know, top is going to be king, and you know, track position is also going to be very, very important tonight. It's Bristol. It's always known to be a crapshoot. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cautions tonight. There's gonna be a lot of wrecks. So track position and being up front is gonna be the most important thing these drivers have to keep in mind tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very hard to pass, to your point about track position being important. But we're gonna move into the broadcasters' picks. Up first is myself. I'm picking Sean Conklin. I think Sean Conklin's gonna come through, get the checker flag tonight. He dominated the NIS season last year at the end of it, so I think Conklin's going to bring home the checker flag tonight.
I'm picking the guy that's going to be starting right behind him tonight in the 4-car of Jacob Schneider, and I believe Brewster, not sure who he's picking, but and our picks aren't loading, so just know that I'm picking the number 4 of Jacob Schneider. He's starting position right behind the 5 of Sean Conklin.
And our producer pick, he picked Conti. So Michael Conti did not qualify, so he's starting back in the 23rd place position there for our producer Austin Derbyshire. Going to be a hill to climb for Conti, but if anybody in the field can do it, it'd probably be the former pro himself, the retired pro, I gotta say. It's not like he ever dropped out of the series; he just retired out of it.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, if you purely just survive tonight, you could really start anywhere and, you know, make a pretty good finish. I mean, last year's NIS 500 here at Bristol, the night race, I started, I think, 33rd, and I ended up winning that race, leading 257 laps. So, yeah, just got to survive that first half of the race, and you should be good to go.
And if we do get any stretch of a green flag run, this thing is going to run by really, really quick. I mean, the laps are going to tick off just one after another for a minute, and it's going to just hit you really fast. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been to a couple of the Bristol night races, and it's the quickest 500 lap race I've ever seen in my life. I'm telling you right now. So if we get any form of a green flag run, this thing will fly by. But we are going to run through our starting lineup real quick. Miller Bonds in the Ryco Performance Ford Mustang, starting on the pole. Garrett Maines to his outside. Johan Seminario in 3rd place with Sean Conklin in 4th. Paul Brugoli in 5th. Jacob Schneider in 6th. Alex Murray in 7th with Matt DiCiani in 8th. Anthony Federico in 9th place with Brandon Bikey in 10th.
Shane Davis going to be starting in 11th position tonight. Corey Insing in the 12th position. Joshua Gathright going to be starting 13th with Josh Harbin to his outside. Justin Levine in 15th position with Patrick Gitter in 16th. Chris Davis going to be starting 17th tonight with Drew Lebsack in 18th position. Alan Wilson the third in 19th with Johnny Baldwin running like the top 20.
21st is going to be Joshua Watson with Nicholas Roman in 22nd, Michael Conti in 23rd, Brandon Evans in 24th, Joseph Pisciata in 25th, and Dylan Banks in 26th. Let's get around out your 26-car field here tonight. I do want to give a fair little warning. If you hear my voice go out a little bit or whatnot, I've been sick all day, so pushing through it because I want to be here for some awesome Ryco performance Monday night top split action. It's been a thrilling season so far. Every A Open that we've done so far this year, even though we've had one less than the B Opens, have been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, a couple weeks ago at Las Vegas, we saw a heck of a race with Garrett Maines getting caught up in some nastiness towards the end and blowing that thing wide open. I imagine we're going to see more of the same here tonight at Bristol, with this thing being such a close quarter racetrack.
Yeah, Phoenix is definitely known for its incidents on the backstretch mainly, but Bristol is known for its tempers. It's known for its attitude when it comes to these drivers, so things could definitely get a little bit crazy tonight. Tempers could definitely flare, and, you know, we've seen it before in these top split races, so hoping that things don't get too crazy here tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised to see things start to flare over a little bit if it does become a caution fest like we know Bristol to be.
And you're probably going to see it because these corners on exit, they get really, really, really tight. And two cars coming off that corner side by side, going for the same bit of real estate, coming together on exit. One of them's pinging off that inside wall, and we're getting a spinner. We come to the green flag. Miller Bonds leading us down to the start-finish line. Garrett Maines, though, with a better jump on the outside, able to throw it to turn number 1 down into the heavy banking, and able to take the lead out of turn number 2.
Yeah, the top's going to be very, very, very king as we already have a caution. There goes my point. I believe it was in the back of the field, so looks like some people not able to fire off as good as it looks like it was somewhere in turn 1 and 2.
Well,
Can't quite catch who it was.
I did say if we got a green flag run, we would have we'd have the laps clicking off. Caution on lap number 1 is not a good omen for that, I would say.
I think it may have been 91 of just Pisciata. I'm not too sure. I think he may have been involved in that.
We had a couple fast guys at the back because they chose not to qualify. Joshua Watson was back there, Nicholas Roman, Michael Conti, Joseph Pisciata, like you mentioned.
Yeah, this is. I think this may have happened in front of him, possibly. Yeah, look. Oh, it didn't. Who was that? That was Pisciata, and it looks like Dylan Banks was the one that got turned there.
Well, you say get turned, but he definitely just lost it himself, and Pisciata had nowhere to go. Pisciata now with some pretty good right front damage, I gotta say. It's bent up around that wheel a good bit. I'd probably come down to get that thing fixed, but it looks like he's coming down pit road right now, so he's gonna get that right front fixed up. You can see it on the broadcast right now. It's bent up pretty good, and as soon as I say that, my C-tier producer changes the camera so you can't see it. You're gonna have to wait a couple more seconds. He's trying to get there. Now we can see it. You can kind of see it's bent up a little bit. You can see that tire whenever you definitely shouldn't see that tire.
Yeah, that won't be too much damage. I think that would really, I mean, it's pretty much already almost fixed, so it looks like it was only about 20 seconds worth of damage for that 91 machine, so should be back in it and ready to go.
He'll be A-okay, but I was surprised that he wasn't coming down, but I was a little quick on that trigger.
It looks like Dylan Banks has already decided to call it quits tonight, so unfortunate. But yeah, one thing I was getting into before that very, very, very quick caution is, I mean, we saw it pretty aggressively there that the outside here is just way too good. I mean, that's always how it's been at Bristol, night, day. Anytime throughout the race, we've always seen that the top is just so incredibly overpowered here, especially in the Cup car. And, you know, that's how Garrett Maines got the lead off that initial rip. I mean, I'm pretty sure he beat Miller Bonds to the line, and that initial start was on green, and Miller Bonds kind of just sent it out of the starting gates, but Garrett Maines beat him to the line and got the lead on the outside. So it looks like the 54 Sean Conklin may be able to have that same opportunity here, unless Garrett Maines decides to go a little bit early here.
Yeah, Maines controls the restart, so I think I think for now on, we'll just see that leader easily clear down into turn 1. Maybe that outside car hangs a fender onto the right rear quarter panel, but for now, Garrett Main's going to easily take that lead on the jump. Clear Sean Conklin getting down to turn number 1, and we get our first clean start of the evening coming down out of turn number 2. I might have said that a little bit too quickly as Brandon Bikey hits down that turn 2 fence on exit. Able to hang on to that thing though, coming out of turn number 4, able to pick up a position over Anthony Federico in 8th. Garrett Maines though leading the way over Sean Conklin, over Jacob Schneider and Miller Bonds.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed is, you know, the outside is really, really good, and that's where a lot of people aim to set their cars up. But, you know, I'm being a bit surprised here by the fact that a lot of people are ripping the inside here. So,
I feel like you can just save tires a lot better on the inside of the racetrack, and also a couple years ago, I believe they added some type of grip strip to the bottom so that it was actually at least competitive with the outside. And if you run it for the beginning portion of the run, I just think that you're a little bit quicker. Yeah, that outside will end up prevailing on the older tires whenever the grip goes away, and you just cannot wrap the inside with any form of velocity or quickness whatsoever through the center of the corner. And you've just got to kind of play the momentum game. Once the tires wear out, they'll move up there, but for now, they've got the grip to where they can really wrap the bottom and keep up the momentum, so they're going to keep it down there as we see Justin Levine put it into the outside fence coming out of turn number 4. Able to hold on the position, still stay side by side, but he's loose again coming out of turn number 2. We've seen this week in and week out from the number 1. He just seems to have a couple issues in the early going of the races and giving up spots.
Yeah, one thing I did want to bring up is it definitely looks like both phases of the oval refresh that we've gotten so far have, you know, really picked up lap times here at Bristol. I mean, I don't ever remember a time where you were able to run 14.3s in the next gen at Bristol during the day. Like, you could barely scratch into the 3s at night at the start of a run, but I don't ever remember being able to consistently hit 14.3. So, looks like that bottom is a lot more powerful with this refresh.
They got some grip, man. These next gen cars, they have got some wicked grip, and they just throw it around the corner. Absolutely no break. Thank God it's iRacing. We've got a little bit of a reprieve on the dirty air. It's not quite as bad as real life. We still got to deal with it, but it's not quite to the same extent. So we actually have Sean Conklin, who's able to run up on the back bumper of Garrett Maines.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's a kind of a thing with the refreshes. I think that was something that came out with it, is that the dirty air wasn't as potent as it was. Because I mean, yeah, I ran the Cup car all last year, and I could definitely tell you that last year it was a lot. It was very bad at short tracks. Like, it was almost impossible to pass people in general at short tracks, or just in general everywhere else, because of how bad the dirty air was. And it doesn't look like it's as hard as it looks like. It's a lot better to pass here. So I definitely think that it was a good thing. And it looks like that outside is starting to fire off a little bit here, as Brandon Bikey has gained almost 3 positions here just in the span of a lap.
Yeah, a couple people starting to search around a little bit, find a little bit of speed, including our race leader. Our leader's been running the bottom in 1 and 2, but the last couple laps into 3 and 4, he's actually been running a half a lane up entering the corner and letting it widen up the entry, and kind of going for a late diamond on the exit, and just really pinching off, kind of going for a double apex through turns 3 and 4, the tighter of the 2 corners. Every time into that corner, he just seems to let it ride up this time around. Finally, as soon as I say that, though, he does just kind of wrap the bottom. But he had been finding a little bit of time, able to stretch the gap over Conklin. But overall, he'd been losing. It seems like Conklin can just kind of maintain. He gets up to about 2/10 and then falls back to 3. And it's just kind of yo-yoing between that margin.
It looks like Brandon Bikey has started to kind of move. Right as I say that, he goes right up back next to the wall. But Bikey has really gained a ton of time. I mean, he started back in about, I believe, 9th or 10th position, and he's gained 6 spots in the last 4 or 5 laps purely because of that outside line. And then, so it looks like that inside line is good for tire saving. About 20 laps, and then that outside line starts to catch up in terms of pace, and it looks like Jacob Schneider has already noticed.
So that pace is there for Bikey, but I would just be worried that he's still killing his tires, and in 20 laps he'll be a sitting duck. But for now, it's working out for him. It looks really good. But he is really driving hard off of these corners, really driving that nose down to the bottom of the racetrack, even though he's putting a lot of wheel into it and a lot of throttle into it through the top side. So if I'm Bikey, I would be worried about that right front tire a little bit. But for now, he is making ground, trying to get past Schneider. To your point, Schneider has kind of noticed Bikey making up ground up there and has actually gone up there to go defensive. Made Mikey go to the bottom side of the racetrack to try to pass him, which I think is just going to hold Mikey at bay for now.
Yeah, and it looks like he's starting to fall off a little bit. That one car as Miller Bonds is looking to go on the attack here, but it doesn't look like he really had the speed that Mikey has. And Mikey back up to that top line. Schneider going up there to block again, and you know, it's going to be a fun one to watch these two because Mikey and Schneider have butted heads before. I remember back at Pocono last year, in I believe it was an NIS race. And if you remember, Pocono wasn't too popular last year, and I actually made that top split race surprisingly enough, and it got interesting between those two. So maybe some possible butting of heads if this continues for too much longer between the 0-2 and the 1, but you know, maybe they've gotten over it. Who knows what's going to happen here, but right now watching Justin Levine trying to make some moves here on that number 12 car of Miller Bonds there. It definitely looks like that outside line is starting to come into play here as we're just started lap number 30, and looks like the majority of the top 5 has definitely moved off of that bottom line and maybe up to the middle.
Yeah, most of the top 5, except for the leaders, gone off the bottom of the racetrack. Mikey, you got to think if you're in his situation, you're a little frustrated as soon as you get up to the back bumper of Schneider. He runs up there, takes your clean air away, and ruins all of your momentum. And they've actually been falling backwards off of the back bumper of Conklin and into the clutches here of Miller Bonds and Justin Levine, who has surprisingly kind of turned it around. Instead of going backwards, he's been going forwards here tonight so far in the first 32 laps of this thing, up to the 6th place position. Trying to challenge Miller Bonds up to the back bumper, but it's going to be tough to pass Bonds on that outside groove.
Well, yeah, I mean, back on the Brandon Mikey part and the Jacob Schneider going up there to block that momentum, I mean, did you really expect anything different? I mean, Schneider sees Mikey gain 6 positions there in the span of about 3 or 4 laps, and then, you know, I mean, you and I both know that you would that you definitely would go up there to block. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You would definitely go up to block if you saw someone gaining that much time, and you're going to take away that clean air, and you're going to take away that momentum because at the end of the day, you don't want to lose that position, do you?
Well, and you can see it's working out right now because Mikey ended up pushing his tires really hard, was not able to get the position, and Schneider is now pulling away from him. I mean, he's gapped him by a couple tenths of a second now here, and you can tell Mikey's struggling, falling into the clutches of Miller Bonds, while Schneider's pulling away from him a little bit. And he might be a little bit faster than Conklin. It's a little wishy-washy back and forth between 2nd and 3rd on who's faster, so looks to be working out for Jacob Schneider at this point. Mikey falling back a little bit, but not really any worse than anybody behind him. It seems like he's kind of stabilized here in this 4th place spot.
Yeah, and Schneider has gone back to the bottom as well. I mean, it looks like everyone else is about running the middle, like we're about used to seeing. Is this is further back of the field around the Nicholas Vroman area. Further back, looks like a pretty good battle for position here. That's between, I believe.
Is it Levine and Bergol? Sorry. A little bit further up, there's another battle side by side. I mean, Gathright and Labras side by side here. Bergoli and Levine were side by side a second ago. A little bit further up.
Yeah.
Heck is that Insing and Bergoli that are now behind, that are racing hard. Levine still trying to hold off Murray. A lot going on for this about 6th place position. Everything behind Miller Bonds for 5th. It's just all 5 of these guys are racing hard.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of what Bristol is. I mean, you get into this long run and people start to figure out what they have for their cars, and right now we're seeing Alex Murray make a move to the inside of the 1 car of Justin Levine, and this is kind of Bristol here. You get into that long run, you get the laps on the tires, and people start to figure out what their car can do, where the grip is, and that's where we start to see the moves. That's where we start to see the battle for position. That's where Bristol starts to get fun, is you get on these old tires, you get on these longer runs, and this race gets interesting purely because there's so many different lines you can run to try and make moves here. I mean, this entire battle right here, as you see Alex Murray to the inside, put some air on the one of Justin Levine, got him really loose off the corner. That's how you got to make moves here at Bristol. It may not be fair, it may not be even, but you got to do what you got to do at the last great Coliseum.
You say it becomes more fun, and you know, I guess you're right, it's more fun to drive, but you can't pass, man. I mean, you get on the worn tires and you just cannot make a move with the progressive banking. You get down to the inside of somebody and they can just hang it around your outside for lap after lap after lap, and you just cannot do anything. And it is just, it's mind-numbingly frustrating. So I don't know, especially if you're in this group right here,
Ooh, caution.
As the yellow flag comes out, so it's actually going to break it up, but I think it's right in front of our leader.
Ooh,
Yep,
that's
on the back
Gathright.
straightaway.
Joshua Gathright around. Oh, no, that's Drew Leblask. Or Lebsack, sorry. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If we can.
I do apologize there. I do get what you're saying. It can be frustrating, but it definitely has a fun aspect if you start to get the moves going. But with this replay here. Oh, this was
whenever
Chris
you've
Davis.
got tires and everybody else doesn't.
Yeah, that was Chris Davis that spun off the corner. And this is Gathright, Watson. Oh, man, 3 wide. Yeah, 3 wide almost never works at Bristol.
Good job keeping it off the fence. Kept that car safe. He does go a lap down, but I mean, it's a long event. We're only not even a third of the way through this thing, so Drew's got plenty of time to get back into this thing. And we're going to take our first commercial break, though, as we do near the 33% mark, I should say. But stick with us. We got some more great action on the other side.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday night. Not NIS. It's just top split tonight. Just A open and B open. Gotta correct myself there. Garrett Maines leading the field back to green here, lap 52 of 175.
As I say, I didn't realize there was an NIS split on Monday night now.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta make fun of you sometimes, Austin. Come on now.
Nope, I can only dish it out. I can't take it. I'm gonna.
That's tragic because I'm
gonna freak out.
This man's about to have an aneurysm. Looks like I need to take over play-by-play. Just kidding. I can't do play-by-play.
Ah! Sorry.
Jesus. Oh, we've already descended into madness.
Garrett Maines leading the way down at turn number 1. Sean Conklin. They've been 1-2 all night, it seems, just about. Miller Vaughn started the way on pole. Didn't even hold on to it to the start-finish line. Garrett Maines took that thing right away, right off the bat. And Sean Conklin followed him through, and Garrett Maines, Sean Conklin ran 1-2 ever since the drop of the green flag. It's been a bit of a mess behind him, though, everybody behind. Schneider's kind of solidified himself in that third-place position. But everything behind that, Alex Murray, Brandon Bikey, NSYNC, Justin Levine, Paul Vergoli, they've all just kind of changed those positions around, everything fourth on back.
Yeah, and it looks like the strategy is starting to update here a little bit. It looks like people have decided to kind of ditch that bottom to start the run, and you know, we're seeing a lot of people run that middle and top now, especially from about fourth on back. You know, Brandon Bikey, he's starting to make moves as Schneider goes up to block him once again. You got the 17 right behind him. That's Corey Insing there. He's starting to run that middle. Justin Levine's starting to run the middle, starting to run up about a lane off. And, you know, it looks like that 22 of Alex Murray is going to get freight trained here as he's got a lot of cars behind him that are looking to get around here.
Yeah, I'm interested with the way that with the dynamic track, just kind of how we've been running that top side in. Is the top side really going to be the way around this entire time, or is it going to float back down to the bottom at some point? Is this thing going to come back to Alex Murray after we get some heat back in the racetrack?
No, not with the dynamic track, I don't think. I think now that people are starting to figure out that that outside line is just too good, people are going to stay up there for the most of the race. It may burn that right rear tire off, but Jacob Schneider in the wall.
That's heavy contact. He's broken. He's broken. He's taken out. Brandon Bikey. Brandon Bikey's now broken up into the fence.
Oh man. Looks like tempers between those two have not solved one bit since Pocono last year, because something similar to that happened in that Pocono race. I'm not gonna say anything on it, but it was very, very interesting. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, I thought Schneider was broken going into turn number 1. I would like to retract that statement. He definitely just turned into Bikey, goes down into the corner. So
that O2's damaged, but
we definitely need a replay of that. That was
very interesting.
That was a lot.
Yeah, Corey Insing got damage from that as well. I think maybe Justin Levine got a tiny bit of that as well. Maybe not, but looks like Schneider's still okay, as now he's fighting the 22 of Alex Murray for position. It's going to be, Brandon Bikey. No, he's going back down to the pit lane.
Still for third, somehow, after all that.
So this is the replay. We're still a little bit ahead of where everything started. This all started off of turn number 4. Where Bikey gave the bumper to Schneider off of 4, and that's what started this. Oh, no, still a little bit ahead, but yeah, Schneider just drove him straight up into the wall there.
Yeah, that was pretty clean.
Pretty cut and dry, but I still want to see where this started.
Before that, Bikey definitely just touched him as Schneider was coming down off the corner. I mean, it was the lightest of contact you could ever have. It did twitch Schneider, and then Schneider twitched back to the right. He had it saved, but Bikey couldn't get off the gas in time to give him time to save it, and clipped him back again into the fence. That's what happened coming off of 4, but then Schneider just did not turn going into 1.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit heavier contact than what we may think here, but yeah, I agree. I don't think that was warranted at all going into the corner there.
Whether it was warranted or not, it happened. And it's kind of broken up the battle up towards the front a little bit, kind of strung out everybody third on back. We had already had our front 2 kind of string themselves out. Conklin putting on pressure on Garrett Maines. Oh, Garrett Maines having to check up a little bit in the race lead, gives it to Sean Conklin as they get held up behind a little bit of slower traffic. A lap car coming on. Oh, Sean Conklin slides up in front of Garrett Maines off to turn number 4. Aggressively takes the lead away from the 12, but Garrett Maines is not happy with it. Comes back to the inside.
You got to remember, these two are best friends, so this is just child's play to them. They are having fun out there doing this, and Garrett Maines just giving Sean Conklin his protege of sorts, I guess is a good way to put it, giving him a little bit of distaste over the in-race radio there. He was not too happy with the 54 Conklin there.
I mean, he should be more unhappy with the lap car of Lebsack. Lebsack was the one that was so slow, but Garrett Maines ran up on him in a bad spot, slowed up Garrett Maines, gave Sean Conklin the opportunity, and Conklin just seized it. So I don't think Conklin did anything wrong in that situation.
No, he didn't. It just seems like Garrett Maines may not have been the happiest camper with that whole situation there, but I mean, this is pretty good excitement there. I mean, we're already starting to see it, man. I should have made one of my keys to the race. Watch for tempers flaring, because we're just barely halfway through, or not even halfway through this race, and things are already starting to pop off here. People are, I mean, we've already seen one driver get sent up into the wall very, very aggressively, and starting to see some more tempers flare here. Makes me wonder what's going to happen later in this race when people actually start the race.
Yeah, I imagine we're not even scratching the surface
Nope,
right now.
not even close.
I mean, whenever we get down to the end of this thing, if we get a late race caution, like if this thing runs green, then we'll be spared of the mayhem. But if we get any sort of form of a late race caution with under 40 laps to go, we are in for a rough finish. I can promise you.
Yeah, and who knows, this thing could go green the rest of the way, and we just don't know, and this could be a run to the finish, but Conklin's starting to pull that lead out a little bit. I mean, Garrett Maines looks like he's either saving or starting to fall off a little bit.
I really wish that we could put the in-race radio over the broadcast. But
we
I
would get
know,
in so fast.
Yeah, I know it would be so bad. But man, it would be such good entertainment.
It would be. Like, you remember when drivers could, like, in real life, they could talk to each other at the plate tracks to set up the tandem drafting? They need to bring that back. They really do.
It would be interesting. I would like it. It'd be something different.
Also, uncensored radioactive. That's what makes radioactive fun.
You get wrecked by somebody, you can just tune into their radio and cuss them out.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, it looks like things are starting to settle out a little bit though here. People are starting to figure out that, hey, I can't drive like a idiot all race and have a clean car at the end. I mean, that things definitely kicked off there for a moment, but it looks like everyone's starting to calm down a little bit, get their senses back, and, you know, stop seeing red for more than a lap.
And I think Conklin noticed that Maines was backing up pretty heavily, and he started backing up as well. He stopped pushing so heavy and building that lead. He's actually gapped it or pulled it back down just a little bit, just kind of hovering around that 0.5 of a second mark. So I think Conklin has kind of learned, like, okay, I don't need to push my stuff too heavy and put myself in a bad situation going forward. So Conklin, I think, has kind of backed it down a little bit.
No, not really. I mean, I'm looking at his lap times here. Of course, he had that 7.42 where he gained about 0.3 over Garrett Maines, but, you know, he really hasn't backed off too much from what he was running. So, I mean, it looks like that things are definitely starting to stagnate a little bit here for the lead, but, I mean, you look further back and things are not calming down at all back here.
Yeah, looking down, not surprisingly, Justin Levine getting freight trained on the inside of the racetrack from 7th back to 10th, just barely hanging on to that top 10.
Ooh, shots fired.
No, this is fact stated.
No, definitely shots fired. Just see a dive bomb here from the 95 of Roman. Ooh. Definitely tried the slide job there. And I always get confused here. That was going into 1, but I always get confused here. I always mix up turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. I don't know what it is.
I love Roman's new paint scheme. Holy cow. That's sharp. That hard rock.
Yeah, he debuted that last week in the NIS. And
I like it.
Schneider's got a similar scheme with the O2. I think he's a little bit different.
He debuted in the NIS. That would make sense why I didn't know. I was too busy getting wrecked. 10 years back. Yeah, stuff.
Yeah, you were too busy sucking.
Okay.
Sucking in the racing, you dirty mind.
I could have gone so many places with that. Wish we were not on air. Or we have sponsors to take care of, but that's okay.
You were sucking in the race.
I was. Actually, I was French top 10.
And then you decided to get wrecked, straight wrecked.
I was a little bit worse than Levine's running right now. Actually, probably even.
Yeah, and then you ended up in the air, almost upside down.
Yeah. At Phoenix, of all places.
But yeah, this things are starting to stagnate a little bit. Maybe English. We may start to see some green flag stops here soon, possible.
You say it's stagnating, but I see the race for the lead now.
Oh, well, I wasn't looking at the race for the lead.
Wow. Why would you ever broadcast a race? Why would you ever broadcast a race and not pay at least a little bit of attention to the race lead?
Because I am
sideways. Did you see that? Did you see Garrett Maines get sideways right there?
No, but I just saw Alex Murray get sideways in his battle with Jacob Schneider for third position.
That's less important.
You're less important.
I agree.
Damn. But I was getting ready to... Oh, there goes my train of thought. There are no survivors. Anyway, I was getting ready to say that I have my iRacing up. I'm in this session watching other battles because I see the stream is looking at a different battle. That's Patrick Gitter on the wall. See,
Oh, I
I
hope
can
you're
look
looking
at
at the
stream.
race lead because Garrett Mays just put Sean Conklin in the wall through turns 1 and 2. Sorry, through turns 3 and 4. I got him confused that time. Conklin able to fight back, kind of bounce off the wall, give him a little bit of momentum. Mains all the way up, just about contact down the back straightaway. Conklin fighting back hard on the outside, trying to keep that race lead. Mains not quite able to hold up the momentum on the inside. Conklin able to wrap it on the exit of the corner, especially through 3 and 4. He's able to get a good run this time through the corner, drives it in deep. Mains almost into the back bumper once again. Conklin able to hold on to it. They're side by side, nose to nose, once again into one.
Yeah, this is incredibly exciting here as both of them are incredibly loose off the corner. You see the 12 of Mains get loose there. Mains is going to use the lap car as a pick here. Sean Conklin has to check up as Garrett Mains uses Josh Gathright, and almost a little bit of contact between Mains and Gathright there. Gathright just needs to get out of the way and let these two fight, I think. I mean, this battle was incredibly intense as Gathright's in the wall again.
Oh my, that was incredibly close between these guys. Conklin's going to have to lose out. Fall back to that second place spot. Garrett Mains now firmly in the race lead. He had ran Conklin down. Kind of saved those tires a little bit, ran them right back down. Able to come up here and challenge.
Oh, and we got side by side for third and fourth here as Roman just made a move to the outside of Jacob Schneider. The two Hard Rock cars there. I mean, look how incredibly similar those paint schemes are. You really can't tell the difference between the two other than the numbers.
Man, a couple laps ago, lap number 96, Justin Levine lost it off at turn number 2. He got sideways and then saved it, and then he got hit down to the apron. Slid it all the way through 3 and 4, was able to save it, keep it off everybody else, but he lost a chunk of positions.
Yeah, that's definitely a rough break, but, you know, that's to be expected at Bristol, let's be honest. I mean, if you aren't expecting to at least get turned once in one of these longer races, then you need to get your expectations there, brother. Pretty good battle here. This is Corey Insing in the number 5 machine. That is, I believe, Anthony Federico. Nope, that is not. That is Michael Conti, actually.
Going back to what you said about what you expect, I expect these guys to be the best sim racers. This is Monday night, Ryco Performance top split. You don't understand. This is 5600 SOF. These guys are great. So you expect not to get turned.
Well, yeah, I mean, that wasn't a dig at these drivers. These are some of the best drivers in the NASCAR scene when it comes to iRacing. Bergoli sideways off of the corner there, but I mean, let's be honest here. Tempers are going to flare no matter what split you're in. Whether it's first split or 15th split, you're going to expect tempers to flare, and you know, sometimes that could lead to unwanted aggression, I guess is a good way to put that. And you know,
especially in a little bull ring like this. So that's
yeah,
fair.
I mean,
I can give you that.
I mean, to be fair, we saw it in this race with Jacob Schneider and Brandon Bikey. I mean, tempers are going to flare, and you know, you should know going into a race like this that tempers will flare at one point or another. So to say that you shouldn't go in expecting absolutely zero contact between anyone in any split on iRacing is just plain wrong.
Garrett Mains is absolutely flying right now. He is not even making this thing a challenge. Over a second lead over Sean Conklin. Over 2 seconds to Nicholas Roman. A little bit further down the road, Schneider settling into that 4th place position. Conti up to 5th from the back of the pack, doing a really good job getting up from the back. Mentioned earlier, Levine with his little spin all the way back in 19th, last car on the lead lap, just trying to nurse it to keep it on the lead lap, hoping a caution flag comes out. You can see that the leader is not too far behind, though. That's Garrett Mains right behind, ripping the fence.
Yeah, and I mean, Garrett Mains has definitely picked up the pace compared to the rest of the field, and I mean, you know, right as I say that, as expected, I get disproven as Sean Conklin was actually faster than Garrett Mains that lap by about a half a tenth of a second.
Garrett Mains wrapping around the outside of Justin Levine here through 3 and 4. Apologize for stepping on your toes there, Nick. But Mains has driven a really good race. You know, he's lost the race lead a time or two to Conklin here, but he's fought back, able to take it away from Conklin after just a handful of laps on the tires. Not really forcing the issue too much. Able to save really well at the beginning of this run after he lost the race lead, and able to pass Conklin back on even older tires. So pretty impressive there for Mains. Even though he did use the lap car as a pick, he had gotten side by side though, naturally. So great job from Garrett Mains, just putting Conklin under the pressure where he gave himself a chance to make that pass. Oh man, a little bit of contact. That's Murray and Paul Bergoli coming off of turn 4.
What happened to Miller Bonds? He was up in the top 5 earlier.
He started on the pole.
Yeah, he was in the top 5 earlier in this race and just disappeared. He just got lapped and he's in 21st position.
Maybe he left his keep set.
Probably, but I heard that Patrick Gitter is down pit road. He's definitely going to lose a lap here. Just barely starting to get into that turn.
He's going to lose a lot more than a lap. Don't you? Do you have to use both pit roads under green?
Yep. It is single pit roads here, so everyone has to use all the way around. You enter in turn 1 no matter where your pit stall is.
He's going to lose a lot more than a lap then, I can promise you that. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's pretty much expected that you're going to lose minimum 3 laps pitting here at Bristol, so. But you know, it is green flag pit stops, so you're going to gain all that time back anyway, and more with the fresher tires.
If everybody pits, I feel like we could make it to the end, couldn't we?
Not on tires. I don't see these guys making it on tires, considering the fact that they've already fallen off over a second at Bristol, which is a very, very big time.
I mean, that's fair, but I don't know. I feel like we're going to see most people push it to the end. I mean, they're going to be struggling at the end of this thing, don't get me wrong. But
they haven't pit in almost 100 laps. It's been about 75 laps since their last pit stop, and usually fuel runs are about 90 laps.
Are they only 90?
Well, no, they could be longer, but tires really only last about 90 laps before you physically... Oh, caution on the racetrack. Oh, big wreck. That's the 95 there. Josh Harbin.
Bikey! Oh, Bikey's going to hit Baldridge, but I think that they're mostly okay. I think Bikey might have spun just a little bit, but looks like no heavy contact for anybody.
That was right in front of Garrett Mains as well.
Nervy moment for a lot of guys in the field. I mean, anybody sitting backwards down the front straightaway looking at you. You make eye contact with the guy sitting across from you. It's a little nervy. We're going to get a replay to see exactly what happened coming out of turn number 4. Right behind. That's right behind Garrett.
Ooh, that's Gitter. Oh, man. And Miller Bonds as well. DeCiani's involved. You know who that really hurts? The 21 of Patrick Gitter. He's trapped 3 laps down now because of that. Yeah, looking at the replay here. Ooh, yeah. Gitter just comes in screaming with fresh tires and really didn't leave Harbin anywhere to go.
That's a big risk coming down pit road so early, though. So, you know that's the risk, especially at Bristol Motor Speedway. I mean, this is not an easy track. For these guys to run side by side, you get that 3 wide moment, and it's all gonna kick off. Different guys on different agendas with different tires. It's just not gonna work out. But we've got what, 50 laps to go, I believe this time by. Yep, we are at 50
pretty much
laps to go. Everybody coming down pit road. Everybody, most of the leaders down on pit road right now getting service. Justin Levine, I believe, is going to be our lucky dog. So we're back up to what, 18, 17 cars on the lead lap?
Yeah, looks like it. That's going to put Chris Davis up next if we get another caution here. So
we're going to send it to our second commercial break of the evening. On the other side, we're going to go commercial free to the end. back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split on GridVision. Garrett Maines leads us back to the green flag. Under 50 laps to go. Easily takes the race lead. Sean Conklin following him through to second as Nicholas Froman scoots back on that outside line, not able to hold on whatsoever. Goes back to that 4th place spot. Michael Conti able to follow through to 3rd.
Yeah, Alex Murray looking to follow the 5 of Conti through as Froman comes around, steaming around that outside. He's got the 0-2 of Schneider behind him. Got a battle of the teammates here, and the former teammates as well, and Alex Murray and Jacob Schneider.
Yeah, they're racing hard side by side for that 5th place position. Somebody makes contact with the wall a little bit behind. No harm, no foul. Murray making good ground on that inside, but just cannot quite clear the 0-2 of Schneider. Can't quite do it. Nicholas Roman also right in front, going to make it super difficult for Alex Murray to get back to that top side.
Yeah, that inside line is just it is dead. There is no grip whatsoever left in it, and that's gonna make it even harder to pass. As you're gonna have to figure out a way to get to the outside of someone when the outside line is already the much preferred line here at Bristol. So that's just it's gonna be almost impossible to pass from here. Like, you can make a move and maybe try to make a slide job into the corner, but it is just so stupidly hard to pass here. It's not funny.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for anybody to make a move. Everybody kind of cycling out to the outside of the racetrack. Conti still trying to make that inside work. Roman not too far behind, also down on the inside of the racetrack. But even if they make up a little bit of ground, I don't think, so like you mentioned, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I think this race is going to be between the 12 of Garrett Maines and the 54 of Sean Conklin. I think Conti is definitely keeping up with these two, but I mean, the 12 and the 54 just have such incredible long run speed. I don't see anyone else being able to keep up with them if this race does go green to the finish, which is going to be about a 45 lap run to the finish if it does go. So I think Conti could definitely give them a run for their money, but once it comes down to the long run, I think that the 2 Ryco boys will pull away here.
And you saying if this thing runs green, I just don't see that happening.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Yeah, I was
man.
trying to say I don't see that happening.
And right on cue. It was Joshua Gathright that was sideways there. I believe he may have spun on the backstretch there, possibly.
Well, with this caution, I think this is the perfect time to tell you, our trusted viewer, about Ryco Performance, our presenting sponsor. At Ryco Performance, we're more than a setup shop. We're a performance provider providing you weekly with data and setups to get you ahead of the curve on the competition. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or a weekend warrior, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge you crave. Why should you choose Ryco Performance? Well, we have expert craftsmanship by a team of seasoned builders, cutting-edge performance enhancements tailored to your vehicle, and unrivaled coaching and reliability to handle the most demanding circuits on the iRacing platform. For more information, visit us at ryco-motorsports.com, where we build champions and deliver results. Thank you to Ryco Performance for providing us with this entertainment every Monday and Friday night, allowing us to bring it to you guys every single week this season in 2024. So big thank you to Ryco Performance.
So, this is a question I ask every week as soon as we get within about 30 to go. Are you sticking with your pick, Austin?
I mean, he's running second, and he's led some laps, so yes.
I mean,
Are you sticking with your pick?
I kind of want to stick with Schneider, but he is damaged. He has the short run speed, but he seems to fall off in that longer run, so I'm going to do something that's never been done before. I'm going to switch my pick, Michael Conti at the 5.
I don't like that. Who was Darby's pick?
Wait a minute. Did Darby pick Conti? Oh, I didn't realize Darby picked Conti. Yeah. Oops. You know what? Okay, nope. Hold up. Nope, I'm switching the Vermin.
Who decided you could switch?
I did.
I don't...
I'll take that it won't count towards the season standing, but...
Who... I need the rule maker in the Discord right now.
He isn't.
Well then, I need you to put your foot down. I need you to put your foot down right now, producer Darby.
I will accept the fact that my pick won't count.
This man's trying to get bragging
Fine.
rights. Oh, I've seen who's fast. I'm gonna pick somebody that's not the leader, so it's not too obvious.
You're the one who's picked the one car every week for the last 4 weeks. I don't want to hear it, Darby.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bull.
I picked
You
Sean Conklin
picked
and I aim for
Garrett
5.
Main.
I have not picked Garrett.
Yes, you have.
Uh-uh.
So is Taylor Burris.
I don't do that.
Yes, you
It's too
do.
obvious.
Don't lie. Don't lie to my face.
It's too obvious. Pace car's coming off.
Either Garrett Mains or Sean Conklin the last 4 weeks.
Nope. Garrett Mains leading the way. Oh, Conklin. That's the body. Start a little bit there. Oh, cuts the nose off of Michael Conti.
Wow.
He's able to hold on to the
Ooh.
spot, but they're going to be just about side by side coming out of 2. Conti not quite able to capitalize there. Conklin though, that was a bit of a couple nervy moments, honestly, back to back for the 54.
Yeah, that was a little cheeky there from the 54 of Conklin, and I don't think Conti's going to be happy with that at all. I don't think tempers are going to flare, but Conti will remember that. Oh, we got a spinner off of 4. Corey Insing's around. No caution. He's going to keep it straight though.
I think he just bounced off of the wall in a really good way for everybody else. I think, oh, is somebody... Never mind, I saw some weird smoke, but...
Oh, got another one sideways. I think that was Joshua Watson.
This one's a caution.
Yeah, that is... Oh, yeah, that's Josh Watson in front of the field.
Wah, wah, wah. Unfortunate for Watson. Gonna have to drop all the way to the back. Still keep his position on the end of the lead lap. Still think he's gonna drop about 5 spots though.
Yeah, this is the original wreck. Corey Insing bounced off. I believe that was Jacob Schneider. And I got a little bit more front-end damage to that 17 machine. And then if we figure out how to click on Joshua Watson. Oh! Near miss for the 17 of Tony Baldridge there. The other 17 in the field. Yeah, the first one with the 17 of Insing. That one didn't bring out the caution, and I think we're already under caution.
Everybody else just decided that should have been a caution, so we're gonna wreck it the next time around at the same spot.
Yeah, sounds
And
like
I
sounds
appreciate
like
the
a plan.
dedication. I appreciate the dedication.
Yeah. See here. See a couple cars getting to the wall there. Oh, was this? Oh, this is Seminario getting loose off the corner. Ah. And we've been copyrighted. Thank you.
No.
This is coming out of your paycheck.
Understandable. It fit well with the car spinning across my screen.
Oh my goodness, he didn't even deny it. That's the funny part.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
How am I
Okay,
gonna
and
deny
we're
it? How am
double.
I gonna deny it? What do you mean? Look, I could have played the Daytona soundtrack.
Please.
Daytona.
Just
I used to love waking up on a Sunday morning and hearing that sound.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, the one that I played, every time I hear it, it's just like, man. Just gets me riled up again. Sunday, NASCAR's on the TV. My God.
I remember okay. I remember I would always ask my parents to stay up late when NASCAR was on at night. Never happened, so I never knew who won. But
That's tough.
that was
I
a sad.
remember listening to Dale Jr. losing the Coke 600 in 2011 on the radio because we didn't have TV where we were at. That was it was heartbreaking. gonna have to wait and see if we have any heartbreak like that tonight. I don't see it panning out. I think we're gonna see it be a mano-a-mano between Garrett Maines and Sean Conklin.
Yeah, this will definitely be a not quite a battle for the ages, but you know, it is the last great Coliseum, so I guess we could pull that card out for this one. The battle of the ages between the pro and the young gun, I guess is a good way to put that.
Hey, I like it. I like it. It could turn out that way. We still got 25 laps to make it happen. Garrett Maines brings us back down to the green flag. 24 laps to go. Sean Conklin not able to clear Conti this time into turn 1. Conti drives it around, wraps it around the inside of the corner, able to get a good lead up on Sean Conklin, but not able to get by him. Conklin now able to use the momentum on the outside of the racetrack to keep that position. I think Conklin's going to end up winning out on this battle for second.
Yeah, it looks like we got a battle of the setup shops going here. You know, you got the Ryco guys that are, they've clearly built to run the outside here. They looked a little bit uncomfortable on the inside line, and then you got the Team Conti guys. It's got a little bit tight there between Conti and, it's like, is that Roman there? Yeah, that is. But like I said, you got the Ryco guys who've clearly built for the outside line here, and it looks like the Team Conti guys are trying to build to run that inside line. And you know, Levine told me earlier before the broadcast, Justin Levine in that one car, he told me before the broadcast that the outside line is going to be overpowered here. But if you
they're wrecking in the back. They're wrecking in the back. They're wrecking. Coming out of turn number 2. Josh Harbin, Matt DeCiani, one of those two, I believe.
Yeah, it was Harbin. Yeah, Harbin's just in a front bumper there.
Yeah, I don't think that thing's going to be too fast around here.
No, unfortunately, you need front down.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Not too much, but you definitely need a front bumper.
Just a little bit.
Look at the replay here. Oh, he just loops it off the corner. Oh, man. Watson. Nowhere to go there.
Ooh. I think it said 24 laps to go on the last restart. We actually are still not to 24 laps to go. Got a couple more laps until we get to that point.
Austin, are you dumb?
Just a little bit. I was.
We're on 18 to go, my brother.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
You're
Can
dumber
you
than
not
I am.
do? Can you not count?
Yeah, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, I figured.
Holy cow! Hey, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I'm a little sick. Give me a break. I was about to say I've taken Brian's role. I am now from South Carolina. I cannot do math. I cannot read, apparently, either.
Wow. Shots fired. I can't wait for Brian Britt to hop in the booth and just start cussing you out South Carolina style.
Hey. He doesn't do any of that. He doesn't do any of that. He'll forgive me. So we'll be good.
Oh man, that was a bad taste though.
What do you mean? All I said was I can't do math.
Yeah, but you pretty much never.
Because I'm from South Carolina? Is that bad?
No.
I mean, did that really hurt that many people? I'm sure most of them know that math is not their strong suit. Just like I know, social interaction is not mine.
I'm too busily cackling over here, sorry. $15 to go here. This is gonna get fun, I think.
What's 15 times 5?
125. Wait, no. Yeah, 125. There.
Not even close.
Are you dumb or dumb?
15 times 5. You're from South Carolina.
Oh, wait, that's 75.
Yep. Not even close.
I said that without a shadow of a doubt.
15?
I think extra. No. I think Darby is also kind of dumb because he just tried to tell me without a shadow of a doubt that 15 times 5 wasn't 75.
Well, as we're doing math up in the booth, as we've got 15 laps to go, you know, that's how we do things here on GridVision. We like to keep you guessing, throw in a curveball at every single corner. Unlike at the front, which has been the Garrett Maines and Sean Conklin show up on the front row. Garrett Maines leading us back to the green flag, 15 laps to go.
Yeah, the 5 of Michael Conti not getting a good start at all there. He may lose out to his one of his new drivers there in the 22 of Alex Murray on that outside line. And yeah, I think Alex has finally figured out that that outside line is the place to be no matter what setup you're driving here. But, you know, Conti's, he's got a fighting chance on that inside, and he's going to pop up in front of the 22 of Murray there.
Yeah, he was able to clear himself across the nose of his teammate, able to fall into that third place spot. Now diving down to the inside of Sean Conklin. Trying to wrap the bottom of 1 and 2. There's a lot of speed there. If you can just really throw the car to the bottom and get it to rotate. It's really tough to do, but there's a very specific line you can run off throttle that will just wrap that car around the center of the corner. Very hard to find. Got to get it all the way down to the bottom, but he's doing a good job so far, keeping it side by side now with Conklin, but just not quite able to get the front bumper up to the front bumper of the 54. I mean, he's just about there.
Oh, wrecking in the back. Caution on the racetrack. Had a car sideways in front of the field. Who is that? 18 there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Levine had something to do with that.
Man, yeah, no chill over there, Austin.
I mean, I'm just pointing out the facts as soon as I know them.
I want to get a look at this replay just to see if you're right.
The 18 of Federico came down like 2 lane. I mean, I would put the majority, very vast majority of the blame on this on Anthony Federico on the outside.
Yeah, this is. Oh no! Oh, Levine. He got a. Yeah, did he get into Pisciata there?
Levine got into Pisciata, but I don't think that affected anything. Like, I don't think that affected the 18 coming down the racetrack.
No, I think what sent the 18 down the track was Pisciata getting loose and getting into the rear bumper. Yeah, you see right there, just a tiny little bit of contact.
Man. So Levine did start it, is what you're saying?
Yeah. If we can get a slow-mo, because I
mean, it was netcode, but...
Yeah, even without the netcode, I don't think Levine or Pisciata would have made contact. Let's get a slow-mo of this if we can.
This might be the wrong car.
It is the wrong car. Because I think what happened is there was definitely netcode between Pisciata and Levine. But Pisciata, I think Pisciata definitely made even the tiniest amount of contact with the 18 of Anthony Federico there. And I think that's what, I don't know if he made actual contact or if he just put a ton of air on that 18.
Well, whether it was a ton of air, netcode, or whether the 18 just cut across the nose of Justin Levine, we got a couple torn up race cars at the back of the pack. And we're going to have just about a green-white checkered. I think it's going to be about a 4-lap shootout.
Yeah, it is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 4-lap brawl here.
Yeah, we're going to have a 4-lap shootout to the end of this thing to settle the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split A Open this week at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's been a pretty good one, honestly. I mean, it's been tough to pass, but we've had a couple good long green flag runs. It hasn't been a total caution fest.
And I'll tell you what, good news if you like passing, because from what I've heard, the B car is nowhere near as difficult to pass here at Bristol.
I like to hear that.
I'm hearing rumblings. I have no idea if they're true. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, this is going to be definitely a fun one to finish out here.
Is the B car at Auto Club?
It is. Okay, wait, I'm dumb.
Oh.
Disregard my stupidity.
Heck yeah, man. We get some Auto Club tonight. I love it.
Ooh, I'm down. Auto Club.
I
hate Auto Club. I
I
hate racing Auto Club, but I love watching races there.
Really?
I just do not like. I mean, in IndyCar it's fun. Don't get me wrong. In IndyCar it's a blast, but NASCAR I do not like auto.
Well, I'll whip Nick straight after the race, but we still got 4 laps to go here. Garrett Maines leading the way over Sean Conklin. Getting down into turn number 1. Conklin's going to be under fire from Michael Conti once again on the inside, coming out of turn number 2. With them side by side, you got to think Garrett Maines is smiling wide, just going to be able to drive off into the sunset and win this thing.
Yeah, but you got to remember Conklin. He's got 2 Team Conti cars, one to his inside, one to the rear end. So Conklin is going to be in handling hell here, as he's going to have Alex Murray putting air on the rear end and Conti taking away the front end grip from that 54 car. So it should be in a Team Conti car is going to finish in the top 2 here. Maybe wonder if both cars will finish in the top 3 possibly.
Well, they're fighting for it.
Caution on the
race. You saw the color of the flag change mid-stroke. I mean, look at that. That Barney the Flagman. I mean, you do not find a Flagman more talented. You didn't even see him switch colors, and it switched. Or you didn't see him switch flags,
Barney
and
the
it switched.
Flagman. Barney the Flagman's just that guy.
That was incredible. We're going to get a green, white, checker.
Barney the Flagman is definitely that guy, pal.
We're going to get one of them green, white, checkered finishes. And that probably means Garrett Maines is going to walk away with the dub. He's going to be able to control this restart, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to get any separation behind him. So I think Garrett Maines is going to walk out of here as the victor.
More than likely. I mean, especially if he gets another good restart like he did. I mean, it took Conti and Murray 2 laps just in itself to get Conti even with the 54 of Conklin. So, yeah, I definitely think Ryco is primed for a 1-2 here. It's just a matter of which Conti car is going to finish third at this point.
I don't know if they're for sure primed for a 1-2. I think Conti could definitely slip in for that second place spot over Conklin. Just coming out of the corner, turn 4, side by side photo finish. I really think that he could beat him to the line coming out of 4, but I mean, he's not going to completely overtake him or anything. But I think Conti could get the second place spot.
Yeah, there's a chance. It's just, like I said, it's all a matter of if Garrett Maines decides to count Sean Conklin down, because if Garrett Maines counts down this restart for his teammate, then that pretty much seals it. But if Garrett Maines just guns it and goes, I think Conklin will have a tough time keeping second.
So you're saying it all depends on how big of a teammate Garrett Maines is to Sean
Basically.
Conklin here on our race for second. But unfortunately, it sounds like we're in agreement. The race for the lead might be settled.
Let's be honest here, Austin. The race for the lead was settled when Conklin got put in the wall.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hate to agree with you, but
yeah, I know
Maines
you
took the lead and
absolutely
just kinda-
despise agreeing with me, but
yeah, I mean, you kind of
for
suck.
once, for once, I'm right. Let's be honest.
You suck, but you're right. So, and man, this
Thank you,
pace
that
car is
means
just
a lot.
making it where I have to spend more time in the booth with you. I mean, how the heck is that not one?
Hey, you got a whole nother race with me, brother.
I know. That's why I need a break in between. This is tough. This is
Too bad.
tough. It's making it where the break's going to be really, really short.
A
Lost
very
break
healthy,
again.
very healthy work relationship here.
I mean, you say that. But
I mean, if we
I'll
do
get
get
outta
another
here.
wreck here, this race is going to finish because there's only
True.
I checkered. So
A open. This is not NIS. This is A open. This is the second time that I've switched him up tonight in my head.
you big dummy.
Sometimes. I don't say that I'm not a big dummy.
At least you admit it. The first
Yeah.
step to retribution is admitting the problem.
I'm well aware.
That's like me saying I suck at Oval, and I mean I do.
You're well aware. You're third split.
Yeah, but unfortunately I
guy.
suck too much. I suck too much to figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Hey man, win third split. You can do it.
Well, you know that's why I've switched to the IndyCar this year.
Oh. Well.
Matter of
Switch
fact,
back.
after our broadcast, I'm going to be doing an Indy fix at Iowa.
Oh, he's ready for the season to start. And I'm ready for the restart to get going. Pace car is going to dip off turn number 4 for the last time. Garrett Maines stomps down the gas easily, gets that jump over Conklin, but Conklin, can he clear Conti getting into 1? Not quite. Conti's able to throw it down into the bottom of the corner, able to get side by side for second.
Coming down into turn 3 and 4, Conti. He does have the run. Conklin sends it deep, though. Conklin going to beat him to the white flag off the line.
Conklin and Conti side by side for that second place spot. Conti just edging forward, coming out of turn number 2, down to the turn number 3. They're still side by side, but it's going to be Garrett Maines in front, coming to the line to win the Monday night Ryco Performance top split as they wreck behind. Side by side at the line for second was Michael Conti in a photo finish over Sean
6
Conklin.
1,000ths of a second, or excuse me, 8 1,000ths of a second between Conti and
Is that
Conklin.
exactly how I told you it was going to end up?
Yeah.
It might have been. It might have been. Yeah.
But hey, I got the winner right at least. Ooh!
Garrett Maines is going to be burning it down as he's doing donuts on the front straightaway here at Bristol Motor Speedway. As it seems some people still want to finish the race. We're going to take it to the last commercial break of race number 1. Stay tuned. We're going to get a couple interviews on the other side. Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday night top split on GridVision. We just had a heck of a race from the Bristol Motor Speedway with the A Open finish. First up, we're going to talk to our third place finisher if we can bring him up. It's going to be Sean Conklin in the 5 machine. Sean, do we have a copy, buddy?
Yep.
Sean, pretty eventful race for you up front the entire afternoon, just kind of battling with Garrett Maines there. You know, in that last battle that you really had with him where you lost the lead, what could you have done different to kind of fend him off and hold him back?
I really don't know. I'm gonna go back and probably watch a lot before the next race, but I really don't know. We were up there, but I was struggling just to keep tires on it, and Garrett was definitely faster than me, and we kind of threw away second there at the end, but just overdrove the corner and he got me. But yeah, good win for Garrett.
Well, Sean, I was going to mention the long run pace. After Garrett got by you, it seemed like you just kind of stretched that out and pulled it out a wide ways. What was going on the long run for you? What was the struggle?
Saving the right front. I noticed my right front was a lot worse than his. And I don't know, I just kind of fell off. Like, I wasn't really that bad, but it wasn't that great either. I really don't know what happened. I'm gonna go back and watch, like I said, but we just kind of struggled, and the set was really good. It was just on my end, we gotta try to drive it better.
Well, nonetheless, Sean, congratulations on the third place finish. Nothing to scoff at, considering you only lost to Garrett Maines and by 0.006 of a second to Michael Conti. So it's not like you're losing to chumps out there. You got some heavy hitters that you're fighting up at the front of the leaderboard. So congratulations on the P3 finish. Are there any shout outs you can give here at the end?
Just shout out to Ryco Performance and everybody back at Ryco. Put in laps all week and help out with the set and help us come out here and do this and get these wins. So yeah, big shout out to them.
Well, big shout out to you, Sean, for the third place finish here tonight. We've been talking to you a lot here the last, I don't know, couple months, and I'm sure we're gonna get to keep chatting with you every Monday or Friday, just about every week, continuing on. So congrats again, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you.
All right, that was our third place finisher, Sean Conklin. Next up, I believe Nick Stein is going to be standing by with our race winner, Garrett Maines.
Garrett Maines, dominating performance tonight. I mean, there really wasn't anyone that could have touched you tonight. I mean, Sean Conklin definitely had a chance, but you just had that long run pace over him. What'd you do different tonight?
Man, I was just going back to watch the deal with the lap car. I don't know. I kind of expected him to go high. He was saying that, I'm going to go. And then he said bottom when I turned the steering wheel. I'm like, oh, we're done. So I don't know. I mean, if I had committed middle or just somewhere I could have been a little bit more versatile, that probably would have been a little bit better. But, thankfully we were able to recover from that. I mean, me and Sean were absolutely duking it out there. It's really hard to pass, and I felt like I was struggling with drive off a little bit. But I think we know exactly what it was, because there was an adjustment I had to choose from, and I chose the one that turned a little bit better on exit, and I don't think I like that. But we were on rails. After about 30 laps, we really came to life, and I'm complaining relatively, though. There's definitely no complaints to be had. We had by far the faster car, so it was really cool to be able to come out to Bristol and have a good showing and finally get one of these races. It's been kind of frustrating. I feel like I get screwed every time in the Monday Night SOF, so it's nice to be able to finish the job.
Well, we saw the race start out on the inside, and then it really transferred to the top. Was there any real hope for that inside after we got past about 50 laps into the race, or was it as soon as we hit that lap 50 mark, it was outside all the way?
It was definitely not the bottom for me after the first few laps. I mean, I think most of us were running down there not because it was faster, but to save tires. And by the time everybody was like, all right, I'm done saving, it was moving up for pace. And with dynamic track, I think it wasn't even like remotely close on pace anymore. So you kind of had to run either middle or top, whatever your car could do. I think a lot of people got limited to what their car could do. I think we had a lot of options. I mean, even though I was complaining a little bit about drive off, like I still had plenty to be able to run where I wanted. So that was nice. I think, battling with Sean there was something to be said for the middle, which I didn't actually anticipate that at all. I don't know if that was, my tires at that stage, if I had just kept them on a little bit better, or if there was, some multi-groove there, but usually you got to pass on the top here, which makes it pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's always difficult to pass here at Bristol. Congratulations on the win tonight, Garrett. Anyone you got to thank for this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to give a huge shout out to MCU Body, Lennox, the guys at Ryco for all their hard work on this car. Another rocket. It's definitely nice to be able to, have a team that's got so much support, and Ken's been killing it, and all the guys over there that put in all the time in on the setups. Just a really committed group. So shout out to them, and also big shout out to Left Court Brothers and FGR Excel for all their support in the Coke Series.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Garrett. Hopefully see you next week or later this week in the NIS.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Nick.
That was our race winner, Garrett Maines, and that's going to do it for race number 1 of the Ryco Performance, a Monday night top split. Stick with us. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and then we're going to come at you with some B Open action. to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split on GridVision. We've got some B-Open action coming at you from the Auto Club Speedway. The now deceased Auto Club Speedway, unfortunately, but fortunately, we've got it preserved in the iRacing service. I'm Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Nick Stein, as always. And as always, oh man, rough start, man. Also, we have Austin Derbyshire behind the production booth. Hopefully we can edit that out because he is so good behind the production booth afterwards. That would be great.
Unfortunately, it's live broadcast.
Nope. We're going back to the
all right,
footage,
restart.
so nobody can see
Restart.
it. Yep. Oh, yep. That's a good idea. Yep. Delete it.
Try your intro again.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. Anyway.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going with this anyway. We're just killing time at this point. But we're going to go right into the standings. Look at that segue. The perfect timing. The producer was on par with me going into the standings. Flicked it over right whenever I was going into that sentence. Couldn't ask for better synergy up here in the booth. Out on the racetrack, Brandon Hawk leading the way. Quinton Warman second. Jimmy Norman third. Zach Rinker in fourth. Johnny Avila in fifth. Tommy Gossett. John Williams. Joey Doucette. Jared Carr and Ryan. I can't talk tonight. This is so bad. Ryan Andrew in the top 10. Can you take over the rest of it for me, buddy?
Oh man,
I would appreciate
we love Austin Edstrom here. Kyle Myers going to be in 11th in points. Brendan John Kohler in 12th position. Charles Velasquez 13th. Kelsey Rogers 14th, and Brandon Schmidt rounding out your top 15 in points. Through, I believe last week was Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was. I'm dumb. Don't mind me. But yeah, last week was week 13, so we really didn't see that many people racing. So yeah, hoping to see a lot more competition here tonight at Auto.
Yeah, with the time change as well, it's a little bit later, so we could see a couple more faces. But we're gonna look into your keys to the race.
Yeah, of course. First, save tires. I mean, to be fair, that's going to be a key of the race that I will always put out there is saving the tires because that's just so incredible. Yeah, because that is incredibly important. One of the most important things you can do. And second, you got to run low as long as possible. The lower part of this track is a lot grippier than the outside, but as the race does go on, that will start to gradually move to the outside until eventually people are going to start running that wall. And then lastly, here at Auto Club, fuel strategy is key. I mean, this is a long track, 2-mile D-shaped oval here, 65 laps long, and fuel mileage will become a part of this race. I can almost guarantee.
Yeah, with the long straightaways, you never know whenever you're going to have to, or whenever you can let off the gas just a little bit to save fuel in the draft. We're going to run into our broadcast picks. First up is going to be my pick. We're going to jump to a guy that typically doesn't run up to the front, but I'm going to go with the underdog pick this week, the 9 car, Justin Levine.
I'm going to be beating everyone to the punch. I'm taking the 1 car, Garrett Maines. And I believe Darby is picking the 3 car, Quinton Warman.
Yeah, you keep saying beaten to the punch, but you're the only one picking the heavy hitters.
Hey, you're the one who's picked Garrett Maines or Sean Conklin in A-Open. Literally every race that we've broadcasted. I don't want to hear it.
What is wrong with picking Sean?
There's nothing wrong with picking certain people, but when you pick the 1 or the 2 car every freaking race.
I don't do that.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
We're going to have to watch the tape back.
I will watch the tape back, and it's going to be you picking Justin.
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear what your research comes back and shows. As we're gonna
Fine, I will write a 5-page essay as to why you suck.
Well, I can't really discredit that, unfortunately, but we're going to jump into the week schedule. Tomorrow night, jumping over the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series season opener from the Bristol Motor Speedway, obviously in the trucks, kicking off that series. I had a barn burner of a race for the championship last year. Then on Wednesday night, we've got the Thunderclap iRacing Series from the Darlington Raceway. And then we're going to end up the week on Friday night, also from the Bristol Bristol Motor Speedway with the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. I'm really having a heck of a night.
Buddy, Richmond's in a couple of weeks. It's not Bristol Raceway.
I know.
There's only one track in NASCAR with Raceway, and it's Richmond.
Who would ever say Bristol Raceway too? Like, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself. I really am. Like, that, as a lifelong NASCAR fan, that kind of hurts my soul that I just said that.
Well, you're the one who said it, so there's no backing up.
I think I just have to sell my sim racing equipment and throw my PC out the window right now.
Yep. Just do that gif of that dude from The Office throwing his computer into the dumpster.
I wish I was armed and ready with that, but what I am armed and ready with is the starting lineup. Andrew Navarro starting on the pole, Dakota Ehrman in second on the outside of the front row. Johnny Avila starting in third with Charles Velasquez Jr. in fourth. Quentin Warman lined up that third row with Garrett Maines on his outside in sixth. Philip Groner in seventh place with Brandon Schmidt in eighth. Kenny Brady's going to be starting in P9, the inside of row number 5. And starting in P10, rounding out that top 10 on the outside of row number 5 is going to be Vinicius Morez.
Starting in row number 6 in the 11th spot, it's going to be Joshua Dickens with Patrick Gitter in 12th position. Micah Allard going to be starting off row number 7 with John Williams to his outside in 14th position. William Hale in 15th with David Collier Jr. in 16th position. Antonio Hahn in 17th with Justin Levine in 18th. Bruno A. Pereira, I think is how you say that, in 19th position with Colt Pendle in 21st position tonight.
21st is going to be Nuno Maya with James Holzer in 22nd. Thomas Lloyd is going to be in 23rd with Cameron starting in 24th. Aaron Matthews in 25th. Josh Harbin in 26th. Dylan Murcott in 27th. And Chris Frost is going to round out your 28-car field from the Auto Club Speedway. Looking forward to getting this one kicked off. Our second race of a doubleheader here tonight. On the rare occasion, or this is a rare occasion, where we get different racetracks across the two races. Typically, the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series run side by side, run just about every race together. But on the off chance that the Xfinity Series is off a week that the Cup Series runs on, we get a little bit of spiciness in terms of the racetracks that we run for the Xfinity Series this week. We got lucky with the Auto Club Speedway. Absolutely love this racetrack. I think it's fantastic. Love driving it, love broadcasting it. I can't wait to get this one started.
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased in the fact that I don't really like driving this track. I never have. I mean, at least when it comes to NASCAR, I've really never liked driving Auto Club. I love. Okay, let me follow that up by saying I love commentating races here. This is one of the most fun tracks to commentate races at, but God, do I hate racing here. IndyCar, though, is a different story. I love this track in IndyCar. IndyCar is so fun at Auto Club, both driving and commentating. It is one of the most fun tracks you can drive in the IndyCar. And I will fight that till the day I die.
I don't like you.
I don't like you either. What's new? Exactly. SOF tonight is, I believe, 4:03.
When are we getting Brian Britt in the booth for Monday nights?
Never. I'm here forever.
Oh, no.
Yes.
We need the champion booth to come over to the Monday night
No, we don't.
slot, I believe.
I'm here to make you stop looking like an idiot for once.
No, we can. You don't really help that whatsoever, buddy.
Exactly. I make you look smart.
I think my South Carolinian that can't do math helps me out a little bit better.
I make you look smart because I'm so dumb. That's how it works here.
No.
Yes.
Well, I'll take it any way I can get him. Andrew Navarro taking it up on the front in the pole position. Dakota Ehrman side by side with him coming down to take the green flag for the first time here tonight. Coming down to the start-finish line from the Auto Club Speedway, we are under green for the B Open. Ryco Performance, a Monday night top split.
Already 3 wide further back in the field. That is Garrett Maines making a move to the outside of Johnny Avila. 3 wide for the third position, as I believe that is the 63 there on the inside. That is Johnny Avila that's on the inside there. Warman's a little bit loose there off of turn number 2, but everyone keeps it straight, and they're going to fan out.
Oh, somebody just about spun it in the back. He was able to save it. No caution. Ehrman got crazy loose on the outside of Navarro through turns 1 and 2. Tried to put up a challenge for that lead. Got loose through the exit of turn 2. Avila gets a little loose on the bottom of the racetrack. Ehrman kind of matches him up high. Navarro is the only one in the front 3 that looked clean through 3 and 4. He stretches out that gap a little bit, coming down the front straightaway, completing lap number 1. He's the only one that's kind of feeling calm at this point, though. It's a Hornet's Nest behind him.
Oh, yeah, 3, 4 wide. I believe I even saw 5 wide there on the backstretch, coming off of 2 to start lap 1 of this race. Got a car on the wall there further back in the field, but everyone's going to fan out here once again. 3 wide further back in the field. Ehrman, though, in the draft of the 44 of Andrew Navarro there. He's got Johnny Avila to his inside once again, and we're already starting to see how good that inside line here is at Auto Club Speedway. That outside's really not able to keep up just yet because, that outside line really doesn't have any rubber on it. As, one of my keys to the race, that inside line is going to be powerful for the first, I would say, probably quarter of this race.
I feel like single file, the inside is going to work for now on the newer tires, especially too. Like the inside line's going to be faster. But if you are side by side, that outside line is going to be more than enough, right? You're going to be able to pinch somebody down. As we got a spinner coming off of turn number 2, saves it before they get down to the inside fence. Couldn't quite tell who it is. They're joining back to the very, very back of the pack.
Oh, we got a pass for the lead here. Dakota Ehrman to the inside of Andrew Navarro there. Navarro on that outside. He really hasn't been on that outside this race so far, but looks like he's holding pretty well here as Dakota Ehrman making a move for the lead. Why couldn't he do this last week when I picked him at Phoenix?
And like I was mentioning, though, the outside line's going to be good. It's just Ehrman can now drive it in as deep as he wants into turn 1 and just clear Navarro before the middle of the corner. Navarro's going to give it to him. Kind of tries to hope that the 18 was going to leave some space for a cutback. Didn't quite happen through turns 1 and 2, though. The 18 just kind of sat on the very bottom of the corner on the apex. Didn't let the 44 get back up next to him. Took that race lead, Dakota Ehrman to the race lead. But like I was mentioning, I think the outside line's going to be good enough to hold steady to defend your position. They're probably relatively even with you just being able to pinch off that inside groove, prevent them from getting a good run down the straightaway. So I feel like that outside line is going to be manageable for a while, side by side, and then I feel like later on in the run you're going to want to move your entry up higher and higher and higher just to keep your momentum through the corner.
Yeah, that is definitely right, but I mean, as we get further and further into this run, this car is going to get too tight. Car on the wall there off of 2, but this car is just going to get too tight to really make that inside line worth it. I mean, you already see these guys arcing it so much as the tires start to wear off, and especially that right front starts to wear off. People are going to start to move up purely because they're not going to be able to get it down onto that white line to get the car to rotate. So people are going to start moving up to that second, to that third line. And, you know, eventually if we get long enough runs, maybe we'll start to see some people run that Larson line up right next to the wall.
Yeah, and you can see people already fighting for the outside line, right? You can see Kenny Brady trying to get to the right rear of Quentin Warman. Typically, if the inside is just way, way better, you see them try to get to the left rear of somebody, try to get to the inside to make the pass. But here at Auto Club, Kenny Brady trying to use the outside where you got the momentum, you've got the draft down the straightaway, and you're just able to keep the RPMs up through the center of the corner, through 3 and 4 here on this outside groove. He was able to get to the right rear of Quentin Warman last time around. Now they're side by side coming out of turn number 4. That's the way you got to do it. You got to do it on the outside of the racetrack.
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't think I ever really got about Auto Club is, like you've been saying and like you've been yelling in my ear for the last 5 minutes about, you got to make your passes on the outside. So
Hey.
I think that's what I'm starting to learn here is, you know, I've never really been first at Auto Club. I don't think I've ever really done good at a race at Auto Club. Yeah, thank you. It's not like I didn't already know that, Austin. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm not good at Auto Club. I don't think I've ever done good in a race at Auto Club. I think my best finish ever is probably like 23rd or something like that here. But, you know, I'm starting to learn a little bit, you know, and don't start me, you weirdo.
Third split 23rd. Holy cow.
No, it was in a league race, actually, with the 3,600 SOF.
Oh, no. I'll pretend you didn't just say that. We're going to talk about Dakota Ehrman up in the race lead.
Oh,
Still
Kenny
on the
Brady
bottom of the racetrack.
sideways off of 2.
Brady able to hold on to it, but he is going to give up that outside of the racetrack. Quentin Warman, who he had just passed not a couple laps ago, able to just easily go by on the outside. Now takes that clean air away from Kenny Brady. Moves Brady back a spot, and also that 11's looking to the outside. Dickens. Sorry, that's not Dickens. That's Groner, I believe, looking to the outside.
Yeah, that's, I believe, Philip Groner there. Check on that. Yeah, that is Philip Groner to the outside of the 5 of Kenny Brady. Brandon Schmidt behind him with the popcorn seat here, and the other 11 is Joshua Dickens right behind him on the outside line.
Man, they're really racing for it here, back for the 7th place position. Kenny Brady side by side, really trying to side draft Philip Groner there on the outside coming out of turn number 2. Not quite really forcing the issue going down into turn number 3, but they do get really, really close getting down to the center of the corner. Brady trying to get all the momentum he can on exit, trying to get into the draft coming out of turn number 4. Everybody breaks down low for him, kind of giving him an opportunity, but it's not quite enough. The 11 just able to clear Kenny Brady.
Now the other 11 car in the field, Joshua Dickens, looked to the outside of Kenny Brady for just a moment, but looks like he's going to try the up and under here, start up high, go down low, and get to the inside of the 5 of Kenny Brady. He's going to have the run down the back straightaway. Man, look how bumpy this back straightaway is. Probably one of the bumpiest sections of the track right here is this back straightaway heading into 3.
We saw Kenny Brady have an issue earlier, and that's what sent him down to the inside of the racetrack. And it's tough down there whenever you've got somebody to your outside. You can make it work like we just saw the 11 do of Dickens, but the problem is you really don't recover until you get to the outside and you can get your momentum back. So I wouldn't say that Kenny Brady had even recovered from that issue that he had multiple laps ago until just now. He's got himself back into a groove, and he can just kind of work himself back into this thing. And now he's still under pressure. Seems that William Hale's to his inside, so Kenny Brady can't breathe for very long. But I feel like this is the time where he's just got to set in, kind of reset, understand, hey man, I just lost a couple positions, but we're still in the early going to this thing. Plenty of time to get those back. No reason to kind of worry or panic yet.
Yeah, there's also the fact that you can really easily overheat the tires in this car, especially the Xfinity car. Like, if you get loose, you could say goodbye to any rear grip for a couple of laps, purely because if you overheat these tires, it's so hard to get them cooled back down enough to be able to push and, make the moves necessary to, get those positions you lost from getting loose. So Kenny Brady really had to cool down for a little bit there, just kind of sit back and cool off his tire temps, and it looks like he's done that. Now he's looking to attack a little bit.
Yeah, we're also starting to see some people in 1 and 2 use the absolute outside. I mean, rim riding the fence, making up spots every single time. I believe it was not Joshua Dickens. I believe it was Philip Groner last time by, sent it way out to the outside of turns 1 and 2. It's on the outside again.
It was Garrett Maines in the 1. That was all the way up next to the wall. I mean, you see a couple people, Philip Groner is further back using that outside line. Actually, no, that's not Philip Groner. That's Brandon Schmidt and
way further back.
I think it maybe Venetia's that Reyes. No, it wasn't. It was James Holzer in the 17 all the way up next to the wall. One of the Team Conti guys there.
Man, he's rim riding.
Yeah. Like I said, using the Larson line there. And it's not working as good as it could, but it's definitely starting to come in the very, very outside.
It's coming in, but you're going to burn the hell out of your tires doing that. I mean, that's a couple time use thing. You pick up a spot or two, and then you back it off. Or even if you use it again, you're not really pushing that hard. But whenever you're up there, you've got to keep the pedal in it to keep your momentum, and you're wearing the tires out pretty heavy. So a lot of those guys are moving up there already, and they're pushing.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing, but I mean, to be fair, running any lower is going to burn that right front off just as much as being up top is going to burn that right rear off. So, I mean, you could really play the game of one lap running the bottom, the next lap running the top, and, really evenly burning those tires off. I mean, to be fair, that could be perceived as a placebo effect and not really anything useful, but I mean, if it helps you get faster and gain positions, I don't see why you wouldn't try to. As we're really starting to see people kind of flock to that outside now. It looks like that outside's really starting to become the preferred line.
Yeah, and everybody from about 4th on back has grouped up. Our front 3 has kind of distanced themselves. We've got a 4/10 of a second gap from 1st to 3rd, and then we've got a 1.1 second gap back to 4th of Garrett Maines. 5th of Quentin Warman, not too far behind, and then it's just a really big gaggle of cars, a bunch of people running side by side, trying to get everything that they can in the early stages of this thing. Still obviously have one pit stop in this that you've got to take. Do not believe that the gas can take you all the way to the end, but Dakota Ehrman taking a little bit of a different line this time, going all the way up to the wall, allowing Navarro to get side by side coming out of turn 2, but Ehrman should have the momentum coming off the corner. He yields onto the race lead. Oh, there's a spinner in the back. Caution flag is out.
It's a 10 car, I believe. No, it wasn't the 10 car. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but somebody definitely did go spinning off the backstretch there.
That was
maybe
Kenny Brady in the 5.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
No.
William Hale came down off the wall.
Oh,
and,
yeah, it was.
Got Kenny Brady.
Yeah, Kenny Brady. No, Kenny Brady came up.
Kenny was definitely coming. Kenny definitely came out of the corner.
He came up 4 lanes.
Yeah, Kenny's coming out of the corner. He was expecting William to hug the wall a little bit more. William really didn't come down, but yeah, that's just Kenny coming up. He definitely slid up a little bit heavy. You would expect William to run a little bit closer to the wall, but unfortunately you can't just expect it, I suppose, right? Like, you got to know that somebody could be a little bit off the wall. That time, that's kind of what we saw happen. But we're going to take this opportunity to take our first commercial break. Actually, we're going to take one more replay before we take that commercial break. Looking at the hood of Kenny Brady, correct?
Yeah, this is Kenny Brady here. I mean, you're going to see it right here. He gets a really good run through 1 and 2. And was this Kenny Brady? No, actually, no. Wrong hood.
Well, that was the wrong guy, but we're going to send it to commercial. Stick with us. We're going to have the rest of this thing on the other side. Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday night top split on GridVision. We're here at the Auto Club Speedway for some B Open action. Coming through turns 3 and 4 on lap number 19. Gonna have 46 to go this time by after the pace car pulls off.
Look at this, almost an exact lineup of our original starting order. Andrew Navarro, Dakota Earman, Johnny Avila, and Garrett Maines. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like you mentioned, Andrew Navarro is going to be the one to lead us back to this green flag down to the restart zone. Going to be able to control this restart, and he gets down to the gas pedal. Brings us back to the green flag. Johnny Avila able to kind of cycle through on that bottom lane, try to challenge the 18 here on the bottom, and Avila's in a pretty good spot here going down to turn 1.
Yeah, Avila's in a really good spot, and he should be able to pull away with the 18 at Dakota Earman. Remember, these are the 3 that pulled away to start as Quentin Mormon gets really loose once again there on the initial start. Yeah,
he was
did
so
that.
far sideways.
Yeah, he did that on the initial start too, and it led to a couple of positions lost, and he really wasn't able to recover.
Did a good job holding on to that, or holding on to it that time, though. Didn't lose too much going down the back straightaway in that side-by-side battle for the 5th place position. That's himself and Dickens in the 11 side-by-side coming to the line. Side-by-side behind him, also, Quentin Mormon. sorry, Brandon Schmidt and Allard in the 14 side by side.
You know, we're really starting to see a lot of people.
Oh, Warman!
Oh, Warman! Jesus! Oh, Wreck It in the back. Wreck It in the back. That's the 95 around. They're off the racing surface, though, so that won't be a caution.
Yeah, I think that was off the front bumper of Justin Levine, I think, coming out of turn number 2. Just getting spun around. I don't really know exactly what happened, but I know Levine got carried down to the bottom of the racetrack with not quite as bad of consequences. He just lost the back end of the pack.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that people have really started to it's not really that popular on the bottom anymore compared to what we've seen. Look at the replay here. Ooh, yeah. Oh, man. A lot of things happened
on the
there.
car on the outside, the 95 did. I believe that was Harbin. I think he ping-ponged on the car on the outside down to the bottom and turned himself across Levine's nose coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, people are going back live here. I mean, people are starting to test the waters with that outside line on the fresher tires here. Not really seeing many people, well, let me rephrase that. We're not really seeing people freight train the bottom like we saw on the original start here. So, yeah, I think people are, you know, experimenting a little bit more, it seems like.
Yeah, the outside of the racetrack's woken up. Navarro, though, on the outside gets a little loose, gets a little squirrely. Actually allows Ehrman to have a decent run coming out of there, get a little bit of draft coming down the back straightaway and duck right back out. Able to get a run here on the 44, getting down to turn number 3. Dakota Ehrman way down to the bottom and Andrew Navarro way up to the wall. I mean, inches separating the right rear from that fence. Able to keep it out, able to keep the momentum up down the front straightaway, and able to keep up the challenge for the lead, able to keep himself in front of the 18.
Yeah, Dakota Ehrman going to go up and side draft the 44 of Navarro down into turn 1, but that outside line is just too powerful here. I mean, we're already starting to see it as we're getting further and further in this run. Ehrman's able to get clear, though, on the inside, but here comes Navarro with a huge run on that outside line, and that is why the outside is so powerful here. Just look at the run Navarro got. I mean, Ehrman had him cleared by almost 1/10 of a second coming off the corner, and Navarro was able to turn that into almost 2/10 of a second purely off of that run from turn 2.
Yeah, Navarro had that thing lined up perfectly coming out of turn number 2. He had that thing thought up, going down into the corner, executed it to perfection. I don't know if he wanted to be, you know, I don't think he ever wanted to get cleared. I think he wanted to stay glued to the top side of the racetrack, but it was only out of necessity that he left it, got down to the bottom, and now he's stuck to the bottom again. The 18 of Ehrman gets back to the outside, a little bit of a nervy moment through 1 and 2, and now they're side by side down the back.
Yeah, Navarro got really loose off of 2. That's what allowed Ehrman to get that run, and now Navarro all the way to the outside once again. That's going to allow Ehrman to go down to the white line. He will clear Navarro by a pretty good margin off the corner, but here comes that huge run you get off of the outside of the corner here. Navarro looks to the inside. Ehrman already protecting that outside line from the 44 of Navarro, and Navarro, he's going to get even, and he's going to get pretty clear, and he's just going to... Wow! What a sin. Oh, man, the hilarity there. What a sin from Andrew Navarro there.
I was just in awe watching that. Like, is this really going to stick? Unfortunately, it did not. He did not keep that position, but it was pretty sexy looking, I got to admit. Oh, who's this?
Yeah, that was...
Is that Allard in the fence a little bit further back?
No, yeah, that was. That was Avila there, but, I mean, that was a dive bomb from last week from Andrew Navarro.
Hey, I respect the attempt. And he's still up there fighting side by side. He kept that thing out of the fence, didn't give up too much ground. Now fighting back on the outside of the racetrack, he could get that huge run out of turn 2 again.
Yeah, he is dealing with some handling issues here. Just look how loose he is there on that outside line. It's going to result in a huge run, though. I mean, this is the battle we're going to see all night. I mean, that inside line, they have the momentum going into the corner just purely because of how deep they could dive bomb, but that outside line is just too powerful coming off the corner.
It's just that you can drive it in so deep into turn 3 there on the inside also, but it does give up the opportunity for the guy on the outside to do the cutback like we're seeing from the 18 of Ehrman. Again, they're side by side. Nothing between them at the line. Literally nothing. Our scoring monitors say 0.000. If that would have been the finish of the race, that would have been fantastic. But instead, they're still just side by side, but the racing for the lead has just been nothing short of spectacular. It's been non-stop since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, it's that, like, it's that plate racing thing I always bring up every time we're at a plate track. It's that 190-mile-an-hour game of chess that these two are playing. I mean, Navarro always sends it deep into the corner, gets a good run off, and then Dakota Earman, he's playing the switchback game here. He's doing the up and under. Any name you can think of for it. Earman's probably done it here. And then, Navarro, like I said, he's always sending the dive bombs. He's running up next to the wall, getting those crazy runs off the corner. And it's just a game of chess between these two. And look at the gap they've pulled, even though they're battling so hard here.
Let me ask you, are they playing too hard?
Too hard to say at this point. I mean, they're definitely losing some time here to Micah Allard.
Well,
Speak of the devil. About that, never mind.
That would have been some awesome timing right there.
Oh man, it always happens to me. As soon as I start talking good about someone, they do something like that.
I hate to say it, but I really wish he would have been it.
Jeez. Okay.
I mean, it would have been perfect announcer jinx, and I'd live for that. So.
Oh man, Garrett Main's throwing in a huge block on Johnny Avila in the 63 there. He's trying to play the lanes 6 lanes apart here, and that almost ended up in tears there as he had to go all the way from the apron to all the way to the wall to block the 63 of Avila there off of 4.
He takes away his line off of 2 again, forces Avila to push him down all the way down to turn number 3. They could be 3 wide here with Avila pushing that outside in the throttle all the way around the corner, trying to push the limits of that machine. Can't quite get to the outside of Mains, but he might be able to push him through once again and just be able to pick up another position. Oh, he looks to the outside, not quite able to make it happen. Just going to have to push Garrett through.
Yeah, but I mean, Joshua Dickens in the 11 car, he's doing everything he can to keep these two side by side purely so he can keep this 5th position here. But Mains, he's not going to be able to block forever, and you see it right there. The 63 of Avila, he's going to take it all the way to the inside, take that huge run, and send these two 3 wide here. Now he's going to be on the attack on the 11 of Joshua Dickens, and he's going to take that run and get 2 for the price of 1, the 2-for-1 special there off of 2.
Oh, that ends up being a great move from Avila. If he can hang on through 4, he gets a little tight, might have had to get out of the gas. And it lets the 11 of Dickens get right back by. Great hard racing from everybody on 4th on back.
Yeah, and I mean, there's good racing all over the place. I've been keeping an eye on this battle for the lead as well, and they're still doing their thing up here, but I want to keep my eye on this Hornet's Nest that we just had our eyes on because they were 4 wide going into turn 1 there, but they straightened it out, and now they're just 2x2 here, so great battling all over the place here.
Yeah, and Allard was up close to our race leaders, and he has now fallen back into the clutches of this battle now for 3rd place. I'd be worried if I was Allard because he was up there. He was close to R2 in the race lead, and he made one mistake, and now he's been falling, and now into the clutches of everybody back here. I'd be worried that he's completely worn the new out of those tires.
Well, he also did get, that's going to get tight. Uh-oh. Oh, big wreck. Oh, that's Johnny Avila. That's Joshua Dickens at the 20. Oh, man, a huge wreck here. Quentin Warman involved. Brandon Schmidt got up in the air, too. Who's that out? That's Chris Frost, I think, got involved in that as well.
Yep, that is slightly less than ideal for a lot of guys that are out in the field. I mean, yeah, just so minorly unfortunate for a lot of guys in the field.
Oh, yeah, Micah Allard got involved in that as well. James Holzer went sideways, too.
No, that ends up being huge, though. Going down to turn 1, fighting for that 3rd place position with Allard, who is struggling.
Oh, man, Warman had nowhere to go there.
Allard got through, but he didn't get out scot-free. He's got pretty heavy back-end damage. Might have had some contact to the front end as well. I don't know. That's a tough break for a lot of guys running from that.
Yeah, you
back. I mean, a lot of these guys were quick, man, fighting up towards the front of the field. I mean, Avila was dicing it up here this entire time, and just unfortunate. Crazy save there on the bottom of the racetrack. I think that was Morez.
Yeah, that was Holzer on the bottom that made that save, but you could have seen that coming from a mile away with, Johnny Avila getting squeezed into the middle there by that 11 car there, and it just, there was no way of avoiding that with how much, Joshua Dickens was coming up there, and I mean, there was almost no avoiding that, unless... I
think Dickens was just asking for too much racetrack.
Yeah, I mean... He was definitely... I don't think he realized he was 3 wide, even though it was just barely 3 wide.
Contact at the front of the field entering pit road. Andrew Navarro and Dakota Earman coming to blows on pit road after they've been racing so good on the racetrack. A little interesting, but no, just Navarro braked it a little bit heavier than Ehrman was thinking. No harm, no foul. Don't think I seen damage on either one of these guys, so should be good to go here.
Yeah, they both look straight, so like they just had a little bit of a disagreement there. But yeah, unfortunate wreck there for all those involved. But it's gonna allow these guys to come down pit road once again, and this could be a 30-lap run to the finish if it does go green. These guys should have one more set of tires for the rest of this race.
Ooh, it's interesting seeing the 17 James Holzer come out in third. Did he take two? I mean, he just saved it on the bottom of the racetrack. How the heck did he come through third?
No, I think he took 4. Yeah, he took 4 tires. He was up there. He didn't lose too many positions because I think after he got spun, the caution was already out. So I think he got to keep his position.
Regardless, heck of a pit sequence because I think he still would have been 5th, 6th, or 7th. And he's come
No,
out.
he was 4th going into pit road.
Well,
so he kept his position.
Oh, you're making me look really dumb. Didn't you say earlier you were here to make me look smart? You're making me look dumb.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're making me look like I'm from South Carolina. What the heck's wrong with you?
That is tragic. Anyway, I mean, yeah.
How dare you?
Oh, yeah, I have the audacity to do that.
I mean, honestly, that's what it is. Like, where does the audacity come from? I don't know. Like, where was it bred from? Like, what breed are you?
I don't know.
Audacity
Human, I guess.
Central. Cautions take a little bit longer time than the Bristol cautions around the Auto Club Speedway. Getting 1 lap to go this time by still means we got about 2 minutes to chat with you.
Oh boy, 2 more minutes of having to talk to you.
Hey
Ugh.
man, hey man, hey man. I was keeping it racing.
Oh, what? So you can throw dishes at me all last race, and I can't do it to you this race?
Didn't I say during the last race that I
The
can
hypocrisy.
Dish it? Yeah, I said in the last race I can dish it, but don't take it. That's why you're getting fired after
of this
you're
one.
out of here.
Damn, that's tragic. Too bad I'm still on the payroll.
Nope. Well, I mean, for now, until this race is over, then you're gone.
Too bad I'm Darby's favorite. Right, Darby?
Ooh. Our producer said no.
That is a lie.
Guess we'll never know.
Lying to the broadcast. I see how it is.
Didn't sound very convincing to me personally.
Ah, man. I love these broadcasts where we just constantly bicker at each other. They're so much fun.
I mean, they can be enjoyable.
Until they get to Martinsville 2023
Yeah, I
levels.
mean, if it's because we have 25 cautions on the racetrack, then it's not enjoyable. But on nights like tonight, where we've got a good race from Auto Club, I mean, there's been hard racing up towards the lead, up for 3rd place the entire night. Hard battling. Andrew Navarro, Dakota Airman have been leading the way all night. They're leading the way once again to the drop of the green flag, taking lap number 37.
Go to Ehrman. Getting hosed on that start there. The 17 of James Holter getting up into 2nd position there. Comes a name we haven't called. Oh, right as I say that, Garrett Maines gets sideways off the corner. That's going to get tight.
Oh, they're wrecking in the back.
Oh, that's a 5 car. The 0 caution on the race.
4 or 5 cars going around in the back straightaway, all the way at the back of the pack. Couldn't quite tell who it was going around, but there was a handful of them.
Yep. The 5 car, I didn't catch who it was, but I saw a number 5 car around there as well.
I want to say
It wasn't Kenny Brady. It was
I want to say the 27 was involved. Maybe.
No, Dylan Murcott wasn't involved. I think
Hey, he had a good avoidance.
it was Aaron Matthews, the 21 car in sim that was originally turned around there.
Ooh. The custom numbers make this a lot more difficult than it needs to be. You could make it easier on us by sending in your custom number to our website in the description, gridvision.live. But it's also in the description, I'm sure. Justin Levine getting around that one. Couldn't quite tell if he got a heavy piece of contact in there. Unfortunately, my race pick, like I mentioned, it was a bit of an underdog pick, so I knew coming in I was going to need a little bit of luck to fall my way for him to claw and scratch his way up there, but unfortunately I just have not gotten the horseshoe to fall my way. My pick mired at the back of the pack behind this wreck, happening right in front of his face.
Oh.
Heavy contact to that right front on the 5 whenever he went around. And
He had to brake 3 separate times to avoid that 5 car.
I'd say he did everything he could to get through there.
Yeah,
But
I just find it funny. I watched the front end of this car dip down 3 times as he slammed on the brakes 3 separate times. That was funny.
our race leader came back down pit road, by the way. But we're going to take this little break in action to talk about our presenting sponsor, Ryco Performance. At Ryco Performance, we're more than a setup shop. We are a performance provider, preparing you weekly with data and setups to get you ahead of the curve of the competition. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or a weekend warrior, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge you crave. For more information, visit us at ryco-motorsports.com, where we build champions and deliver results. Ryco Performance. As always, they are the presenting sponsor for the Monday night and Friday night top split events that we run weekly here all year long. All 2024. We're going to be here on Monday and Friday night, broadcasting the B Open, the A Open, and the NIS Open every single week.
Wait, does that mean I have to commentate race every day?
Yes.
Oh.
If you get lucky, y'all might see Nick dunk me in a dunk tank one of these weeks. You never know.
Hopefully. Jeez.
We'll go down to Talladega and we'll get it done.
Put that on GridVision social.
I got a green screen too, so we could really be anywhere. Make it look like we're somewhere. Got
I
this-
really hope we're able to do that. That'd be great. Being able to dunk me after all the abuse you put me through every week, and we're only doing this is only week 5.
Buckle up, buddy. It's going to be a long ride. And buckle up because we got 25 laps to go. It's about to kick off even crazier than we've seen it so far, and it's been pretty freaking crazy, I gotta say. The battle for the race lead has been absolutely fantastic, but that has kind of changed a lot as our previous race leaders pitted under this caution, put himself at the back of the pack. So Dakota Ehrman going to lead the way for the first time here tonight. Back to the green flag. Dakota Ehrman back to the gas. Oh man, what a change. James Holzer jumping down to that the bottom line as soon as he absolutely could, just making sure he does not get jumped down on the bottom, going through turns 1 and 2. Looks like they're still able to get to his inside though before they get down to turn 1. That's more as in the 17. Just about able to keep it coming out of the corner, but not quite.
Oh, they're 5 wide further back. That's not going to work. Oh, man, how are they keeping that straight?
They're keeping it going for now. Justin Levine stuck in the middle, trying to squeeze through. He's getting tight there through 3 and 4. Not a lot of room. I mean, it looks like it's 6-7 lanes wide, but everybody's fighting for about a groove and a half. So it makes it a little bit more difficult, especially whenever you're 3 wide and everybody's just trying to squeeze and pinch down towards the middle. Got a little bit more of a fight going up towards the front. Garrett Maines, Kenny Brady, Philip Groner, all under a blanket fighting for that 4th place spot.
Yeah, and it looks like this race is going to go into night. The lights should be coming on here soon. So night racing at Auto Club. Who knew that was a thing?
It could have been, man. It could have been. They could have been doing this the entire time, and instead they tore it down.
Yeah, an absolute travesty here, man.
It's heartbreaking.
What happened? What happened to the plans to turn Auto Club to a short track?
I think that's still a thing, but they're in the process of destroying it right now. So I think they're destroying it first, and then, you know, we'll get to that point later, hopefully.
This is a sad moment in history.
It really is, man. I mean, I say that, but low key, it's gonna be.
Oh, that's Harbin, Josh Harbin, sideways. I think he kept it straight though.
He saved it. He saved it.
Jesus. Oh man.
We're bringing it.
Oh my goodness. That's the second time tonight he's been dead sideways off of and has kept it out of the wall.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he should have nosed that thing into the inside wall, but there's plenty of runoff space down here on the apron at Auto Club. You got plenty of room to save that thing. A little bit less space than Michigan, I'd say, but there's still plenty of runoff room down there. You got plenty of time to give that thing a little flick spin and get it back pointed the right direction in case you got it nosed hard, going straight to that inside wall.
Yeah, just man, this is kind of the lull in the race that, you know, you're used to seeing at Michigan and Auto Club. You know, everyone's starting to calm down because they realize, oh crap, there's still 20 laps to go in this race. So I think people are starting to realize that you can't do 3, 4, 5 wide every lap, and hopefully that means that these guys will bring that intensity later in the race.
Yeah, we need to talk about Andrew Navarro a little bit because he's a lap down. We need to really mention just like why. I feel like he's had some issue in real life he had to tend to. No telling what it was, but he stayed under on pit road under that entire caution, right? Like he got lapped under caution at Auto Club. That's a long yellow flag, a long time around under yellow. So for Andrew Navarro to go down a lap and now be at the very back of the pack as well, I don't know. It sucks because it's kind of given Dakota Ehrman nobody to fight up here. He's just kind of able to stretch his gap out away from this battle from P2, but everybody from P2 on back is really, really tight.
Yeah, and I mean, you see up here, Garrett Maines and James Holter, they're getting kind of crazy up here. They were offset 3 wide. That was Kenny Brady, Philip Groner, and Garrett Maines. But look at, man, that outside line is just starting to become overpowered. You see, like, look here, Kenny Brady's just going to get an incredible run off the corner, and he may even pass Garrett Maines because of this run. Just watch this. Look at that run he gets off the corner. That is wild.
Yeah, Brady easily able to get past Holzer there on the outside. Dives it down to the middle in 1 and 2. Not quite taking away the air off the front end of the 17, but still trying to get down to the inside of Garrett Maines coming out of turn number 2. Not quite able to do it. Has to pull back up in line. Just get the draft from the number 1 up in front. Settle back in. Loses a little bit of ground to him down the back straightaway as he didn't quite have a good run. Coming out of turn number 2. Follows the tire tracks of Garrett Maines down into turn 3. You can see he's trying to peek out that left side just a little bit, try to get a little bit of air on that left front nose. That just allows the car to rotate a little bit better to the center of the corner, allows him to get back to the gas a little bit better than if he was really, really just tucked up directly under the wake of Garrett Maines. It can make a huge difference. It's not like the most massive thing in the world because you're still stuck in the dirty air with most of your hood, but putting that left front down in the clean air can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's where most of the downforce is built on that left front of the splitter. I mean, the splitter is there for downforce either way you look at it. But I mean, if you take away the air off that left front of the splitter, then good luck turning. As you said, I mean, if you take away that air, oh man, I wish you luck trying to get that car to rotate. I mean, it's not as bad at Auto Club, but I mean, you go to a track like, say, I don't know, Phoenix, for example. I mean, we were seeing that all the time last week. I mean, people were taking the air off that left front, and people were just shooting straight up the track.
Not only is it not as bad as at Auto Club, but you've got so many options, right? I mean, you've got 5 lanes of racetrack you can work with to try to find a line where you're not stuck in the dirty air, as we see Kenny Brady throw it to the outside of Garrett Maines, trying to find that clean air around the outside. This racetrack is just so great for this kind of race car that struggles in dirty air because you've got so many different lanes and grooves you can work with. We've seen it time and time again with the next gen car in real life. You go to 1.5 miles that has more than 1 lane, and it's going to be a good race. I mean, even Texas has started putting on some half decent shows with the next gen car. So I'm just not surprised when we see Kenny Brady get past Garrett Maines here on the racetrack for that second place spot. Garrett Maines fighting back to the inside.
Yeah, I mean, these two are battling as hard as possible here, but, I mean, that's allowing Dakota Earman to pull an even bigger gap. I mean, he's already put that gap almost over a second here, purely because Kenny Brady and Garrett Maines are fighting so hard here. I mean, eventually they're going to have to learn and or realize that if they don't fight here, they'll be able to draft with each other and catch the 18 of Dakota Earman.
I think Dakota's just got a little bit more pace. I mean, he was up here challenging with Andrew Navarro the entire first half of this race. Looked like he was co-car to beat. It's just whichever one could fight it out and beat the other. Now that Navarro's taken himself out of the race, it's just allowed Earman to pull away. I mean, he doesn't have that guy that could really challenge him to pull him back to the rest of the pack to maybe bring somebody else into this fight. I feel like Navarro kind of taking himself out of this thing on pit road was kind of the nail in the coffin, kind of giving this thing to Dakota Earman, unless we get that late race caution.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a possibility, having that late race caution. I mean, to be fair, I mean, you would think that that late race caution is probably going to make an appearance, considering we're talking about it so much. And I mean, right as I say it, the 5 of Kenny Brady got up into the wall there off of 2, and now he's having to fight Philip Groner and keep William Hale behind him. And Hale's going to send a hell of a dive bomb here to the inside of the 5 of Kenny Brady, and it looks like he may clear him off of 4.
Brady's going to get back to his outside. He files in behind the 11. Just gets a little bit of draft, able to clear the 62. Back down to the bottom of the racetrack, and there you go, back single file. That's for the, what? 4th, 5th, and 6th place position. Or sorry, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place positions, I should say. My apologies. Philip Groner holding that 3rd place spot. I mean, Kenny Brady's not falling off of Garrett Maines, but I don't think Maines looks super, super quick. I think anybody in this little group right behind him could mount another challenge for that 2nd place spot.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a world where all 8 of these cars could be fighting for 8th position, or excuse me, 2nd position. I mean, to be fair, you could be fighting for 2nd and 8th in the same battle, but these guys definitely have the pace to keep up. I think once again, it's a game of not fighting with each other and working with each other for, a couple of laps to catch back up here and, get into that battle. And that's the hard part about racing at Auto Club. I mean, you can get such great runs and gain that 1 or 2 positions, but Kenny Brady in the wall once again there. Ah, man, he's having a tough time keeping that car out of the wall off of 2.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see anybody playing it nice either. You were talking about people working together. I think it's past that. I think everybody knows that they're not going to catch up to Dakota up there in the lead unless he just falls off a cliff. I think they all know that they're just fighting for 2nd at this point. I mean, Garrett Maines, who knows? Like I said, Dakota could fall off a cliff. He could just be pushing this thing really, really hard, and Maines could run him back down. But at that point, if he runs off his tires that bad to where 2nd could catch him, probably doesn't matter if they fight for 2nd. They're not going to slow each other down enough to make it matter to where they would cost each other the win.
Yeah, I don't think, honestly, the pace we're going at right now, I don't think Garrett Maines can catch Dakota Earman. Purely, not because they're fighting or anything. I just don't think Maines has the pace. Because, this is, honestly, if you look at it, this is a completely different beast for Garrett Maines. He's through and through an A-Open guy. I mean, you see him dominate the A-Open scene. I mean, he pretty much dominated that A-Open earlier tonight. But, I mean, he's still running 2nd in B-Open, which, I mean, he's a 9,000 iRating, 9,100 iRating. Of course, he's going to be good whatever he touches. But, he doesn't have the experience that, say, someone like Dakota Earman has. I mean, Dakota Earman was one of the first people I met on iRacing when it comes to the oval side of things. And, he was still in the B car 4 years ago. So Dakota Earman is probably one of the more experienced guys on the service with this car. So, I mean, it's going to be hard to beat someone that has that kind of experience.
Ooh, Groner was able to take the 2nd spot away from Maines. Maines had the run coming out of turn 2, dove it down to the bottom of turn number 3. Trying to take it away from Groner, but Groner was able to get the run coming out of 4 because Garrett Maines slid up way too much entering turn number 3. Put Philip Groner up to that 2nd place position. Garrett Maines, though, still fighting back on the outside, trying to make it work. 10 laps to go. He's got plenty of time, but he is faltering a little bit. Groner running that way bottom lane once again, trying to slide up in front of Garrett Maines on exit. Makes it really, really late coming out of 2. Garrett Maines back to the inside. I think he's going to be able to clear him before the corner this time.
Yeah, he will. He will clear the 11 of Philip Groner, but Groner's going to come back on that outside line there. I mean, we saw it. I mean, we said it, and we're seeing it right now. That outside line is just too good later in this race to pass up. Look at this run the 11 of Groner's going to get here. He's going to get to the inside of the 1 of Garrett Maines. Maines is going to go try to go down and side draft him, and he will. But, I mean, Groner should clear him by the time they get to the entry of 1, and he's going to almost squeeze Garrett Maines up into the wall there. That's going to allow the 5 of Kenny Brady to get in on this battle. Oh, Garrett Maines was in the wall there. Garrett Maines in the wall. He's going to lose a ton of time. He's going to go from 2nd to, what is that, 5th in 1 corner?
Oh, terrible, terrible turn of events there for Garrett Maines, falling all the way back to that next pack, actually. Not even with that front group that just passed him up for that 2nd place position. Falling back all the way, getting passed by a couple guys. And now the 17's hot on his heels. James Holzer right on the back bumper of Garrett Maines, who's keeping it high on the front straightaway. You got to think he's frustrated as heck, running for that 2nd place position on the outside through 1 and 2. Just puts himself in the fence. You can tell the driver, the one's been struggling the last couple of laps, just trying to keep it into that 2nd place spot. Was holding on to it, doing a good job, but just overstepped the boundary a little bit.
Yeah, this is what I'm about to say isn't a dig on Garrett Maines, but that's kind of what happens when you don't have as much experience in one car compared to another. I mean, of course, I will never be 9100 iRating. I don't think I'll ever crack 5K. But I mean, it's kind of hard not to see or not to say what you see when it comes to these things. Garrett Main's not as experienced as some other guys in this B car, so I mean, he's definitely doing good. Running P2 in a pretty stacked SOF isn't anything to be mad at, but you know, getting in the wall, making a mistake like that's gotta hurt the confidence a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, even jumping from one car to another, your sitting position in one given NASCAR vehicle could be a little bit different in another, and the right side of the race car could be a little bit further shifted to the right in one vehicle than another. So you definitely got to get used to certain things, and pushing over from running one car all the time to another can definitely be, or can definitely lend you to make mistakes, right? And I don't think anything that he's done has been egregious, but I mean, even putting it in the fence like that could just come down to not quite knowing where the right side of the race car is because you've been running the A car so frequently. So not saying that's definitely what it is, but you never know.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, that's not a dig at Garrett Maines. He's probably one of the better drivers on iRacing when it comes to his, what's the word I'm looking for? His ability, I guess is a good way to put it, to race whatever he wants. Because, I mean, I've seen this man race anything from the Cup car to the Miata, and he's been fast in it. So, yeah, so like I said, not a dig on the one of Garrett Maines, but, I mean, it's kind of hard to not see that he seems to be struggling just a little bit in this B car.
Yeah, and it's hard to even say it's a struggle. He's still running 5th place. Like you said, before the mistake, he was running 2nd. It's not like he's a slouch or slow by any means, but just a couple little mistakes, forcing him back to that 5th place position. Still nothing to scoff at. Running really well here in the B car, Garrett Maines. Trying to fight back, though. Trying to get back up to the back bumper of the 5 of Kenny Brady for 4th.
Yeah, and this has been kind of starting to calm down a little bit. I mean, Dakota Ehrman just absolutely dominating this race. Like, as the 18 car, he's definitely dominated this race. And I'm not going to say it's a surprise because I know this guy's been fast in this car forever. But, I mean, he is just
to see him dominate this field, like...
Oh, yeah,
this
SOF, this field, yeah.
I mean, we were talking about Kenny, holy cow, Garrett Maines. He pulled out a 2-second gap over Garrett Maines before Garrett made that mistake. And that is Garrett Maines. Like, Garrett is so good, and Dakota Ehrman just absolutely took him to the cleaners today. I mean, credit to Dakota Ehrman, whoever's building his setups, because they had it on point here for the B car.
I don't think Dakota Ehrman is associated with any setup shops that I know of. Or he could be. I'm not too... Oh, he's with Nitro. Yeah, he is with Nitro Racing, so...
3 laps to go, though. Dakota Ehrman just clearing himself of some lap traffic coming through turns 1 and 2. Back out on the back straightaway. Just a couple laps to go, unless we get that caution. They are running pretty hard, just about 3 wide for the 6th place position, I believe. A little bit further back. James Holzer, Pereira, Williams, all fighting really hard for the last couple positions up here. Garrett Maines fighting with Kenny Brady. Did he get in the wall again?
Kenny Brady, I think he did.
Garrett
Yeah, he
Maines.
did.
Garrett Maines losing more positions, dropping even further
Oh!
back through the field.
Oh, we got some battling going on here. James Holzer making a pretty aggressive move on Bruno Pereira there. We're about to be 4 wide off of turn number 2 here. Get the actual 5 car of John Williams down there. He's fighting with Garrett Maines. James Holzer now getting a pretty good run off the corner here. Things starting to kick off for this 4th place spot.
Yeah, I didn't really expect everybody to kind of lose their mind. But coming out of the final corner here on the last lap, Dakota Ehrman.
Oh, we got one spinning off of turn number 4.
Coming to take the checkered flag, Dakota Ehrman wins the B Open as we've got a spinner coming out of turn number 4.
I didn't realize I was coming to the checkered flag.
What a way to end the Ryco performance. Monday night, top split from Auto Club. Gotta love having a couple different racetracks in one night, keeping it nice and fresh between the 2 different races. Dakota Ehrman keeping it nice and fresh in victory lane, keeping Garrett Maines out, preventing that clean sweep. We're going to take it to our final commercial break of the evening. On the other side, we're going to see if we've got any interviews for you. Stay here. Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday night top split on GridVision. We're going to run through our final race results here from the B Open race. Dakota Ehrman brings it home in victory lane. He gets the top step of the podium. Philip Groner in 2nd, William Hale in 3rd, Kenny Brady in 4th with James Holzer in 5th, Garrett Maines in 6th, Justin Levine in 7th, Vinicius Morez in 8th, Colton Tyndall in 9th, and John Williams rounds out your top 10.
Micah Allard, who we saw sideways earlier in the race, going to be finishing in 11th place tonight. Patrick Gitter in 12th position. Nuno Maya, I think is how you say that, in 13th position. Antonio Hahn in 14th. Dylan Murcott in 15th with Cameron Sart in 16th. Chris Frost in 17th. Charles Velasquez Jr. in 18th. Bruno A. Pereira in 19th after spinning on the last lap there. Josh Harbin rounding out your top 20.
21st is going to be Andrew Navarro with Aaron Matthews in 22nd, David Collier in 23rd, Quentin Warman in 24th, Johnny Avila 25th, Brandon Schmidt 26th, Joshua Dickens in 27th, and Thomas Lloyd in 28th. All right, we are going to be able to get in touch with our race winner. That is going to be Dakota Ehrman. Dakota, do you have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Dakota, congratulations on your race win, first and foremost. It looked like it was going to be a challenge between you and Andrew Navarro, but he kind of took himself out of this thing and left you to drive away with the victory. What were you thinking whenever Andrew came down pit road under that caution?
I had no idea what he was doing. I thought there was no way we were pitting right there, and I could see the rest of the field onto my right side staying out, so I stayed out. I really don't know what happened. I hate that he left because I thought we were going to have a pretty good battle. I think he was turning a lot better out of 2 than I was, but I just had a really, really good drive out. We really nailed the car, I think, this week. I put in so much time. I love this place. It's one of my 3 favorite tracks, and we just really wanted it to be good. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to him, but I mean that was so much fun battling him, and so much fun even just driving the rest of the race.
So I gotta ask, with you being the 18 car and it being a 5600 SOF, I believe, and there being guys that like the ones you were racing, Andrew Navarro throughout the entire race, you beat guys like that, beat guys like Garrett Maines, heads up, James Holzer. You know, how does it feel being, you know, someone that's not like the highest I rating in the split, but coming through and kicking everybody's ass.
Well, so this is my alt account. It is about 1,000 iRating lower, but even still, my main account's about 5,900.
Okay.
It's still really awesome. Those guys are so hard to beat every week, and I have been on the opposite end of so many ass kickings from all of them, and it has been so frustrating. And I moved to Nitro. I'm building the public sets there, and put in so much time on the car here to actually be able to go out and go up the field like that. It wasn't a huge win, but 2 seconds over guys like that, it's just unheard of in this car from someone like me. So just super, super proud of all the effort and the time that went into this thing, and I'm so thankful for all the guys at Nitro for helping me out there this week. I'm so happy with what we did and so proud of what we did. It's a huge effort.
Oh man, you really could have gassed yourself up with me with me not being prepared on that. But still, only 6K. I say only. I mean, 6K is great, but only 6K beating the likes of Garrett Maines and competing with Andrew Navarro. Still nothing to scoff at. And like you mentioned, just a great work all around from your entire team putting out a piece like that, because it looked like it was on rails. But is there anybody else you can thank here at the end of this one?
Big shout out to Dan Shamoon, all the time that he invested. We put in a lot of time this weekend, and he was there with me for almost all of it. Anthony Promoda, Stephen Massey, Brandon Burkhart, all the guys at Nitro that ran laps with me, even Micah. We just put in so much time to make this car the car that it is. And again, I'm just so proud of everybody there. It was my, I think, third week with them, technically, past the plate tracks, and it's just been a step up every single week, and it's been incredible. So glad to be here and running with them. And then also a shout out to the only other sponsor on the car, DC Designs.
Well, Dakota, congratulations. You put on a heck of a show out there for us tonight, bringing home the checkered flag, and looking forward to talking to you again maybe the next time that we run the Be Open series.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right, that was our race winner, Dakota Ehrman. Looking forward to hearing from him again later on in the season. Got to imagine with him on a new race team and already kind of clicking to that point to where he's winning by that many seconds over some really, really heavy hitters. Got to give it or give that whole group a round of applause. That's going to be it for us here tonight for the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. From the entire GridVision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook or X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks to Andrew Cardinal of Whiplash Sim Cams providing the cams used on today's broadcast. And congratulations to our race winners tonight, Garrett Maines and Dakota Ehrman, for winning the A Open and B Open races in our doubleheader tonight on the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. I've been your host, Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Nick Stein and Austin Derbyshire in the production booth. We'd like to thank you for joining us here tonight, and we look forward to hosting you for tomorrow night for the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series season opener. We'll see you then.